trash people come around. I can't have trash sitting around. He's yelling about trash, man. I can't deal with this, you know.
He's the Prince of Darkness.
I know, yeah. It's like, you know, it's just like, I spent all day cutting out these coupons, man. I'm not spending $5 on, freaking grape nuts, you know.
We're talking with comedian Todd Glass.
In a relationship, women look down the road, which is positive, but some women look too far down the road. I mean, they can't just take that moment for what it is. Like, I'm at a bar, and I asked this girl to dance. You know, she's like, oh, dance? Oh, sure, I'd like to dance. And we're done dancing. Maybe you go over there, you'll buy me a drink, I'll buy you a drink. A week later, we'll start calling each other. We'll get our machines, then you'll get me, then I'll get you. Then we go out on a date, and our friends say we're perfect for each other. So we have our first kiss, then we decide we're going to get engaged. We get engaged. We have a beautiful wedding. After the wedding, we get back from our wedding. We set up an apartment together. Then we have a beautiful apartment. You get a promotion, I get a promotion, and we buy a big house. We have a house, white picket fence, dogs, 2 kids. Everything's going good. Then you're coming home from late at work. I go, why are you coming home late at work?
It's the Bob and Tom Show.
Have you ever had one of those days when nothing goes right? Your wife starts bitching about whatever it was she was bitching about last night. So you escape into the bathroom just to sit there on your throne. But after you finish your business, the toilet paper's gone. Well, it's a great day for me to whoop somebody's ass. It's a bad day, so you better get off my back. You might get cold cocked if you cross my path. 'Cause it's a great day for me to whoop somebody's ass. Well, I was running late for work, so I poured me some coffee to go. And just before I had a flat tire, I spilled it all over my clothes. When the highway patrolman pulled up, I thought that help was on the way. But when he saw the tire tool in my hand, he shot me with pepper spray. Well, it's a great day for me to whoop somebody's ass. It's a bad day, so you better get off my back. You might get cold cocked if you cross my path. 'Cause it's a great day, y'all can sing it if you want to, for me to whoop somebody's ass. When I finally made it to work, I was 15 minutes late. I told my boss about the flat tire, but he fired me anyway. So here I am out in the parking lot, just waiting by his Corvette. I'm gonna give him a goodbye present that he never will forget. Let's sing together. 'Cause it's a great day for me to whoop somebody's ass. It's a bad day, so you better get off my back. You might get cold cocked if you cross my path. 'Cause it's a great day for me to whoop somebody's ass.
Well, today's as good as any. Get in there.
Just start random ass whooping.
Good morning. Smack. No? Why not? How you doing, Mr. Jenkins? Well,
Sorry, I was just overcome by the confusion in the world. Thought I'd hit someone in the face.
Jenkins deserves it, though, doesn't he? Oh, Jenkins. Oh, what a kiss ass. Yeah. Hi, it's the Bob and Tom Show. We're back, and we're all physically healthy.
Yeah. Hey, but what day's today?
July 23rd, 2020. I know my days. I know my numbers. I know my dates.
I was talking to a very bright friend of mine yesterday. And,
Is that right?
And no, it wasn't you,
Well, as
Pat.
I understand it, you have all you have are bright.
And he
was
said,
gonna
I'll tell you
say.
what, I am having the worst Tuesday ever. And I said, you realize it's Wednesday. We all keep doing this.
Yeah.
There's this whole Groundhog Day effect of...
Netflix has to do something to tell me what day it is. That's all. That's all.
Yeah.
That's all I'm asking.
We used to, even if you didn't know what you didn't have a calendar, you had regular TV to tell you what day it was.
Yes, and now you set your
Night
TV
court's on. It's Thursday.
Yeah. You set your
I think that's part of it.
TV schedule.
I don't know.
I got no idea what the hell day it is.
Maybe we should distinguish on this show each day. Maybe today could be Chicks in a Good Mood Thursday.
I'm trying.
People
man.
would go, hey, did you listen to the Bob and Tom
I'm
show?
really
Chick was
self-conscious.
in a great mood. It's a Thursday.
I've been yelling at you a lot, early and often, all week.
Well, I'm going to initiate a brand new feature on the Bob and Tom show once I introduce everybody.
All right, sir.
Ready for this new feature?
You go right ahead.
Okay. Let's see. Well, I'll tell you what. The people involved in the new feature don't even know this new feature exists.
Okay.
All right.
So
We rarely do.
We like it.
Willie Griswold behind the glass in the hot box over there. Hey, Willie, I haven't even seen you this morning. How was that show last night?
It was. I had no clue how much I missed stand up. Chad Daniels is the funniest guy in the whole world.
Oh, he's
And
great.
Chad, where's he going to be tomorrow?
He's a monster.
I think he's in Fort Wayne and then he's in Dayton, Ohio. I
Oh,
think.
Columbus.
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 Yeah,
Okay, so he's
Fort
in-
Wayne tonight, Columbus,
Fort Wayne at the Tiger Room.
Tiger Room.
and then
God, I love that
Friday,
name.
Saturday at the what? Funny Bone.
And then the
Columbus?
Bone in Columbus.
Yeah.
Okay, so anyway, there's Willie G. Okay, then there's Patty G, who's in the other building.
Also Tom's son.
Exactly.
No.
All on the documents.
Willie supports himself.
Wow.
My God.
These are jokes, my God.
You were so going to hear about that later.
Pat's an amazing person, great dad, and a great writer, of course, singer. And Pat, I'm putting you on the spot here.
Okay.
I want you and Willie to write a song in the next 30 minutes. Or 30, wait a minute, let me look at the
30
clock.
minutes.
40, I'll give you 40 minutes to write
40
it.
minutes. Yeah, not like we have anything to do in the next 40 minutes.
Hey,
I think
Pat,
it's a shot at you, chick.
Pat and
Yeah, I
I,
think
Pat and I wrote a new song that'll be on the show in about an hour that we wrote between the hours of 5 and 6 a.m. So it can be
true,
done.
yeah.
So you
Is
and
there
Willie
a
are
theme
going to
that
have
we
to do this.
to do, or
Pardon me?
Is there a theme we have to do, or a special
we'll get
word
to
we
that
have
in
to
just
put
a
in there?
second. That's when I call on Christy Lee for that. But first, let's go around the horn. That very nice orange and black chair isn't just any chair. No, that's the IHateStevenSinger.com
Look at the jewels
sidekick chair.
dripping from it.
Yeah, it's all about jewelry because with things going on there in the world, wouldn't it be great? A little package comes, you go, here, baby, look what I got for you. Oh, that's so sweet. Because that way you can do that instead of,
Call her baby a lot. They like that.
yeah.
Hey,
Say bauble.
baby.
A little bauble for my baby.
There you go, baby.
Don't say it's a bauble for your, never mind.
How
I'll
about
tell you
put
how to do
your
it
hand over
later.
here, baby?
Ignore them.
Oh.
Ace Cosby is our engineer. And today's joke of the day, guaranteed.
How do you know?
Because after
You gave it
yesterday,
to
we
him?
got to give it the guarantee. Or,
Oh, okay.
Nobody will.
Yeah, okay. Just be quiet.
Yeah,
Okay, let's
you'll
see.
notice Steven Singer's over here now, Ace.
A little trash talk.
Wow.
Oh.
Wow. Wow. For,
like it.
for longtime listeners of the show, that is really mean. Let's see now. So Christy Lee is, of course, in the Navy Federal Credit Union newsroom.
Yes,
Here's
sir.
the challenge for Willie and Pat is to write a song in the next, let me look at the clock again. Let me do, I'll give you 37 minutes.
Yeah.
And
We're on
Christy,
the air.
what I want you to do without giving too much away, just read me 10 of the themes of the stories today, and they'll have to write a song about one of the stories.
10 of the
10?
themes of the story? Let's go 3 or 5.
No, you get to choose from one of the 10.
Well, they understand that, but we're going to be here until...
Oh, yeah.
Let me
that's true.
set the rules. It's obvious
That's
that Tom
true.
and I could have talked about this ahead of time. Have somebody like Josh or Chick pick the story, and Willie and I will write it.
Oh, even better. Okay, Josh, you pick it. Give him a choice of 5 headlines. That's
Five
all
headlines. We have the fugitive of the week found asleep on a porch.
right?
That's pretty good.
We have a can shortage. We had coins earlier. Now we have a can shortage.
Okay.
We have glory holes in the news in Canada.
Well, so far,
And
so good.
have you seen that story?
Yes.
No.
This is the Canadian government legitimately uses the words glory hole. Can you imagine?
Isn't a glory hole considered a random act of kindness?
I thought it was an urban slang term.
Pay it
but
forward.
To see the Canadian government, that's in writing.
Yep, it's in writing.
Mr. Trudeau, we have the paperwork on the glory hole bill. Oh, okay. Wow.
And do you miss your theaters? I know I do.
Man, I do.
Floating drive-in coming to Orlando.
Okay, that's enough. So pick one of those, Josh.
I think we have to go glory hole, don't we?
I got to go glory hole.
Yeah.
All right, Willie, glory hole. I'll meet you at the break.
Okay, during the break, you guys can go work on your glory hole song.
So wait, we have to do homework during the show?
Yep.
I figured since you were up late last night at a live comedy show, and
I hated study groups when I was, now you're going to break off into 4 people.
Yeah,
And,
really.
I didn't care
That's what
for any
school
of the
will
4.
be for a little while.
Didn't you like?
there.
I was always in the group with the dumb kids, and they had to act like we were some ragtag group that was going to change the world.
yeah,
Come
but
on, you guys can do it.
You were the funny guys, though.
Yeah, we were goofy. We who cares?
Yeah.
We got to write some song now.
Yeah, I know that. I can remember one of your brothers. I remember receiving the thing from the teacher going, "Charlie is my favorite student, not my best student." So that was kind of a sweet thing to say.
Aw,
Isn't that
yeah,
nice?
that is nice.
Okay, let's move on here. So you're all set for your song? Mm-hmm. Okay, you guys will get to work on that. And then Chick McGee, any sports headlines, just little teasers over there?
We got an update on how many players have the virus in the NFL. We'll talk about that. It's baseball season. It starts today.
Opening day, baby.
Opening day, baby, of the baseball. Yeah, I'm excited.
I think it's great.
an
Stop it.
update-
I think it's really cool that Dr. Fauci throws out the first ball.
An update about
Spitball. Come on, Fauci.
Russell Westbrook, Mookie Betts, and the Dodgers. Mookie has a no-car payment contract. The Blue Jays have been told no thank you at one place, and they're stadiumless.
Oh,
again.
really?
Oh, no.
And the Iron Man. The Iron Man. All of you want to get the kids in the car and head to the Iron Man World Championships. Not so fast, my friends.
Is anything? I'm just the opposite. Is there anything that isn't canceled? Can we go that way?
Nope.
Well,
Baseball season starts
Yeah.
today.
Okay, there we go.
I don't know if it's going to continue or complete, but we'll see.
Okay, very good. Also coming up, we have our usual animal hunks: bears, turtles, bulls in the news.
okay.
Bulls.
Bulls. Say it
Not
again.
bulls.
Bulls.
Bulls. In 35 years, you've never been able to say the word bull. You always say bull.
Bull.
What the hell's wrong with
I'll have you know, I speak perfect American broadcast English.
I know, except for bull.
Except for bowl.
That's what makes it funny.
I'd like a bowl of cereal. That doesn't. I can't get it out.
Speaking of that, we've got an email. Dear Chick, just a quick note. When Chick yells, "Shut up, shut up, shut up," and Tom, I laugh so hard. Now, the purpose of this email. I have a filter in my mind that usually is on and keeps me out of trouble, but my filter is broken because of the pandemic and shorted out for a few other reasons. My mother-in-law's in town, and we don't see her very often. Thank goodness, in parentheses. My mother-in-law cannot stop talking, and she always talks over people all the time. So this means I don't say a word while she's in the room, but the other day I had not had any food because of work. My wife saw it. I was tired, very hungry. My wife asked me what I wanted for dinner. I started to answer my wife for my favorite meal that she cooks. As I started, my mother-in-law talked over me. My rage, I could feel it begin to build up in my guts. I yelled in my best Chick voice, "Shut up, shut up, shut up, shut up." The look on my wife's face is still etched in my mind's eye. Man, did it feel good, though. Sleeping on the couch, that's from Booger Man.
Now, in the
There you go.
movie, it'll be either Walter Matthau or maybe Jack Lemmon. God, that's great. What a nice letter. That's from Booger Man?
Booger Man, he's
Bravo.
on the couch. Yep.
God, that is great. Here, I've got a text already. I feel it should be pointed out as this Major League Baseball season gets underway. Two-time reigning National League Cy Young Mets pitcher Jacob deGrom was born in DeLand, Florida.
Oh, how about that?
DeLand. I'm not familiar with DeLand. Why do they call it
Well, I used to live in DeLand, Florida.
Oh,
Of course,
did you?
I was a DJ in DeLand, did the morning show.
Chief.
And I was called the chief,
Yes.
like fire chief, head man show. And DeLand, an interesting place, somewhat inland, but yeah. Yeah, they call it the land, of course, because it's near to sea.
I like the embellishment, the way that continues.
I did too. I wanted to see how long it was.
Continues to grow.
Fleshed it out.
You know how you get there, Josh?
I don't.
Oh, if you want to fly in, you take the plane. the plane.
Those jokes celebrating 35 years in show business.
One of these days, you're going to do a setup so long you just run out of breath.
One day we did the show without doing any news or sports.
Yeah, we did.
Just kept promoting them.
Yep.
It was great. So we do have some interesting stuff going on in the world of news, and I'm kind of wondering. I did see one interesting thing. Indianapolis 500 will be broadcast live all over the country on television.
Okay.
Wow, that's a first.
And and they're expecting the. How many people are they letting in?
25%. So
that would be
80,000,
75,000.
2,000. Oh.
I imagine they're requiring face masks. I'm assuming that a lot of people will make face masks out of checkered flags.
Probably.
Oh, yeah, you can buy those already.
You can already buy them?
I think there's a shortage for one company.
No kidding.
Ran out.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of shortages, as Christy pointed out,
Christy's very short. Yeah,
Yeah, I am
that's
short.
exactly right.
Thanks for pointing it out.
That's not what I said.
Applied it, certainly.
There's a shortage of coins. We talked about that. And
Yes.
a shortage of cans. I call them tin cans, but they're not really tin, are they?
Not anymore. They're aluminum, aren't they? What are they?
You got me.
You continue to set records for saying old guy things. Hey, get you a tin can out there and wait for the Iceman to come.
Yeah, I still call it a steamroller.
That's right, the old
steamroller.
steamroller, the tin
They
can.
haven't been steamrollers since I think the early 50s.
What are steamrollers?
Those things when they had the giant.
I call those steamrollers too.
They flatten out
Everybody does.
What do you call them?
a steamroller.
Yeah, that's what I call
I'm sure
it.
there's some.
Everybody calls them steamroller. What?
There you go. That's
What
an
else are
old-fashioned
they?
term. When we come back, those damn kids in my lawn. I forgot my place. This is the Bob and Tom Show.
Bob and Tom, 24/7.
Comedy via your computer. Bob and Tom 24/7.
This is Bob and Tom, 24/7.
Hey, Mark Allison here with you on a Thursday. It's July 23rd, 2020. Thanks so much for joining us today. The Bob and Tom Show on a Thursday. Al Jackson's going to be joining us, zooming in from Denver, Colorado. When Al's not on with us, you can catch him on the nationally syndicated television show Daily Blast Live. Could be seen in a market near you, perhaps in your market as well. Check it out. Al Jackson later this morning. He'll have a quiz for Tom. We'll see if we can't get Tom a little more street, urban, hip. The ways of the world, all on the way.
Oh, how I do get sentimental about me carefree days as a lad. We never had toys that were store-bought. We would improvise with things that we had. We made forts out of cardboard boxes. Yardsticks were swords or were spears. But of all these things, none gave the hours of fun like me mother's gigantic brassiere. Oh, me mother's gigantic brassiere. It was of the finest label, canvas, lace, and stainless cable. Me mother's gigantic brassiere. Yeah! Oh, I leapt from the roof of the garage, though I was but 6 or 7 years. Oh, I would have broke me back, but I clung fast to the straps of me mother's gigantic brassiere. Oh, me mother's gigantic brassiere. Wing nuts, cleats, and spoiler, brass grommets, and cup holder on me mother's gigantic brassiere. We tied the bra between 2 trees. The neighbor boys, they did declare. We ended the attack with 6 pumpkins and 2 cats flung from me mother's gigantic brassiere. Oh, me mother's gigantic brassiere. Delicate flower appliques, 8-track tape and safety chains on me mother's gigantic brassiere. One time we used it to slow down our dragster or parasail behind our boat. Then there was the time it was used to airlift an injured skier off a treacherous mountain slope. But most I think of my father's pride when wash day it was done, as he hoisted it up the telephone pole to billow in the sun. Oh, me mother's gigantic brassiere, with an awning and screen door, could sleep 2 family of 4. It's me mother's gigantic brassiere. Oh, me mother's gigantic brassiere. Reinforced hydraulic winch, reflective tape, and 3-point hitch on me mother's gigantic brassiere. Bob and Tom.
Clocking the clergy ain't the thing to do, but neither's the high hard one on a 0-2. Church league, softball, fist fight, a bloody laying on a hands neath the left field lights, knocking out 4 teeth, getting a busted lip, ain't exactly my idea of Christian fellowship. Church league, softball, fist fight, rolling around the pitcher's mound, it just don't look right for nice people from the church and the Sunday school class to trade the cup of brotherhood for a can of whoop.
Bob and Tom, 24/7.
Oh, yeah.
And the sign said, anybody caught trespassing will be shot on sight. So I jumped over the fence and yelled at the house, hey, what gives...
Jim McHugh is our guest recently.
There, 6:20 at Q95. It's the Bob and Tom Show. Boise ever.
Yeah, thank you very much. Christy Lee is right over there. She's got the weather forecast.
Q95, Fox 59 weather, brought to you by CarX. Mix of sun and clouds today with a high of 87. Stray shower is possible. Clear tonight, though, low 71. Beautiful day on Friday, partly cloudy, high 89. Currently 73.
Okay, coming up on this, the 23rd of July, we have your shot at some serious money. That would come in handy.
Mm-hmm.
So be listening for your shot at $1,000 coming up here on Q95. Also, the Bob and Tom golf outing is back. It's benefit for the Riley Hospital for Children. It'll be at Top Golf, socially distanced, et cetera, et cetera. Details on that coming up, so keep on hanging out. This is the Bob and Tom Show. Welcome back. Thank you. What did I say? 23 July 2020.
July 23rd.
Thank you very much. It's a Thursday. We're happy, right? Okay, good.
Yeah.
July 23rd is the way.
Happy to be here. Chick McGee has made the following statement.
What?
As,
How about ya? Oh, no? What?
It's confusing as to what day of the week it is now.
And it's all Netflix's fault.
So you're saying that Netflix needs to have a thing that every hour it comes on and tells you what day it is?
Or at least the day at the top of the menu. Why not?
That's a good idea.
Just type it in. Hey, it's Monday.
Because you can find out any other place.
Shut up.
Naysayer now.
Shut up.
So
Say it's Monday. Get out of your sweatpants. It's
Josh
Tuesday.
in the IHateStevensinger.com sidekick chair weighing in with the negative, of course. Chick McGee across the way. He's got his new kid show, Captain Positive. I saw the sizzle reel.
My show or
I don't think it's going to get picked up. We have Ace Cosby as our engineer. Willie G is working with Patty G on a song because we have a news story about the Canadian government recommending the use of so-called glory holes, and they use that word.
Is there a better time for a good old glory hole than right now? I don't think so. Well, you got to be careful. Do it safely, of course.
Yeah. Who's on the other side? Never mind.
That's the beautiful part of it.
It's sort of like a trust fall.
Yeah.
It's like a trust fall.
Yeah.
Yes, it's a random act of kindness.
That is so profound, Willie. It is. In many ways, it is like a trust fall with potentially very serious consequences.
And is the old lady with the hat pin, is that an urban myth?
I
Apparently,
think so.
yeah. They run it through.
God, I love that story. That was told to me by a very distinguished college professor, and I believed it.
How many people have hat pins, first of all?
Well, that's
It's supposed to be a classic. That's
Okay.
Christy Lee weighing in the Navy Federal Credit Union newsroom. It's great to be here. Once again, we're trying to establish the fact that there's a lot of confusion out there. Therefore, we ask you to come to the Bob and Tom Show so we can help you with the following. Our mission statement is... You're welcome. Okay, now,
We got it all together. And speaking of that, here's the NFL latest. The Players Association say 95 players are now known to have tested positive for the virus. That number up from 72 in the union's last report on July 10th.
Ballpark, how many men play in the NFL?
What's close to 3,000, I think, something like that. What is it?
Okay. Is this
57
just the
active,
players we're
1,500?
talking about? Or the
Yes.
Okay.
95 players.
Okay.
Wall Street Journal.
Already two real annoying questions.
Really?
Sorry.
NFLPA and the NFL reached agreement.
Are they all going to make the team?
Third
Monday on COVID-19. Not now, they're sick. They're going home. Cut! Testing rookies began reporting to training camp. Most veterans come in next week, though some players rehabbing injuries could report this week. So I don't know how many players were tested, but of those tested, 95 players. We're lucky to get these numbers anyway
Sorry, go
because of HIPAA violations. And Houston Rockets star Russell, the Love Muscle, Westbrook.
Do they have veterinarians have that?
Have what?
Do people call him the love muscle?
Oh, they do now. Russell, the Love Muscle.
Of course.
That son of a...
Do veterinarians have HIPAA regulations?
I don't know. That's a good question.
None of your
So-
business
Would
what
they
my
ca-
dog
be
has.
called
Would there be like a HIPAA for a hippo? Sorry, we can't tell you.
I'm going to send it to you today.
Mr. Potamus is not. We cannot reveal the essence of his injury.
I'm going to say I didn't like that joke, but I do like a hippo whose name is Mr. Potamus. I love.
That is cute.
That is a fun idea.
Well, there has to be one.
Peter Potamus, I think, was a cartoon, right?
Oh, that was there? Okay,
Peter
very good.
Potamus. Yeah, he wore a pith helmet. And had
Pith helmet? No, it's a pith helmet.
A pith helmet you wore on your head, and then he had a pith knife.
Yeah.
A pith knife? What's a pith knife for?
Well, it'll cut the pith out of you. Let me tell you.
Let me tell you.
Let me tell you.
Oh, man, we're doing vaudeville.
Hey, turn up the AC. It's getting hot in here. I'm sorry, Russell the Love Muscle. What did he say?
Westbrook, he's set to practice now with the team for the first time since revealing. Ta-da! He tested positive for the virus. He did not travel with the Rockets. Plenty of Rockets on July 9th when they flew to Florida for the NBA's restart. He's a 9-time All-Star, incredibly selfish, never won a championship, revealed on social media that he
Wait a second. Are you editorializing?
Yes, there may be some.
Maybe that might be. Yeah. He didn't arrive at Florida until Monday because it's just Russell's world, and we are just paying rent. Westbrook had to quarantine himself upon his arrival at Disney, cleared to join the Rockets for their final practice yesterday. His only symptom was his stuffy nose.
Oh.
He had a stuffy nose.
All right. Well, you still have it.
Stuffy nose. He's fine, though, now.
Okay, good.
Hey, Christy.
Hey, what?
Here's on Mookie Betts and the Los Angeles Dodgers have struck baseball's first big money deal since the pandemic. 12 years, $365 million. 12-year contract runs through 2032 and removes the top offensive player from next offseason's free agent class. The deal is second largest in baseball, right behind Mike Trout's
Fish.
$427 million deal.
Good for Betts.
Good for Mookie.
makes me
Mookie,
sick.
These long-term deals, though, man, they are just.
They're crazy.
They used to be unheard of.
Yeah. And now
you wouldn't bet 12 that you could go 12 years.
Now they're commonplace.
Mookie.
So what if he retires at 10 years? Does he get paid through 12?
How that works.
I think if he retired, he wouldn't.
Oh, okay.
If he robbed a bank, Pennsylvania health officials have announced that the state
Yeah.
will not allow the Toronto Blue Jays to play at PNC Park in Pittsburgh.
Okay.
It's
Well, you
a
know
state
why.
issue. Why?
Well, it would give the Blue Jays an advantage because when you're in Pittsburgh, it's so easy to steal.
You got the vacuum, brother.
Okay, I can tell.
Dr. Rachel Levine, the state secretary of health, said in recent weeks we've seen. Who's laughing?
His son.
I was laughing
Laughing
at
at the failure. That's fine.
I was laughing at the treatment of the bomb. That was great.
The treatment of the bomb.
That was awesome.
In recent weeks, we've seen a significant increase in the number of virus cases in southwest Pennsylvania, somewhere that Godwin is not familiar with. You're northeast Pennsylvania, right?
Well, primarily. Yeah.
To add travelers to this region for any reason, including professional sports events, risks residents, visitors, and members of both teams. Hey, this sounds like it makes sense. What am I doing? A source familiar with the situation told this reporter the Blue Jays are now in talks with the Orioles about playing home
They're missing
games
the obvious here.
at Oriole Park at Camden Yard.
What's the obvious?
Cuba.
Toronto plays the regular season.
Yeah, go to Cuba.
They open it
Havana should have a baseball team.
tomorrow at 10.
In the future, they will. Wouldn't that be great?
No.
Yeah. What?
Why would that be?
Let him go.
Say, did you hear your son? Yeah, Dad, that'd be great. What?
Okay, fine.
Cuba.
Yeah, Cuba. Start to soften up
Can we
relations.
still go to Cuba? I mean, I know we can't go anywhere.
I know that got really confusing.
Yeah, I don't know.
A friend of mine used to fly in with
Stints.
stents, heart things for hearts for people there.
Quacks.
Well, that's good of them, but
Sneak them in black.
He
Cuba's
would.
not-
He would
Cuba
sneak 'em
isn't
in.
some Shangri-La that was opened up and we all went, oh, we should all go there. There's a reason it was closed and it should probably remain that way for a little bit longer.
Do you want to do the do you want to do the Michael Corleone conversation for me, please, Jim?
Josh, we're bigger than U.S. Steel. And you know, it's easy to steal in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania.
See, you didn't think it would pay off.
I'm stunned.
You know what? I'll go to Cuba. I'll drink some rum. I'll get a cigar.
go.
I'll just go get back into cigarettes. Sounds pretty fun.
I am really shocked you haven't gone to Cuba, Tom, because it is. I have neighbors who went, and it's like walking back into 1955.
All those great old.
and that would be right up your alley.
And I remember what I said. Remember when they would have some of the people coming on rafts from Cuba, and sometimes they'd be made out of old cars, and they'd turn them back. I say
we
no.
said that long time.
No,
The more creative
look at
the raft,
how hardworking and crazy this is.
Right.
Bring it up. Come on.
Give it to them.
If you invented a raft out of a car,
You should be an American.
we
We want you.
We have jobs for you.
Yeah.
That was honestly, I was a little afraid of that take. That was shockingly progressive.
Fill out the right forms, but yes, you have jobs.
Yeah. Wouldn't it be great? I mean, that'd be so cool if they were playing baseball. Some of the best players in the world are in Cuba. Never mind. I'm sorry. Yeah. Let's get
You
back
know what?
to disease talk.
In that case, it would be really big if they did do it.
Allowed Cuban players?
No, but somewhere.
Well, they do now, but yeah.
Yeah.
And then there'd be a guy on the Cuban team that hit home runs all the time, and then we hit home runs. They'd be like, "Uh-oh, it's the Cuban Missile Crisis."
Nice headline. Like, for example, let me try to put this in perspective,
Okay.
Christy. Just for example,
Sure.
the United States and Russia. There's some problems there, but we have the space program where we're all together and stuff like that. It really helps. Gets people to realize, hey, we're all human beings. Wouldn't it be great?
And we get along great with their very nice dictator.
Oh,
And,
yes.
I've said it before. I think he's a great guy. And we all speak in Russian in 8 years.
Sure, it's problematic, but I would like to see a wrestling match with Putin
And
either of our either Biden
presidential
or President Trump.
candidate, yeah.
Oh, I'd say Royal Rumble. We got to throw in more. I'd put Merkel in there.
Yeah.
I bet she could.
Macron.
Oh,
Macron
yeah.
in there.
Oh, and the guy with the weird hair from England.
Oh, what about Trudeau, man? I bet
Boris
he could take somebody.
Yeah, Trudeau would be in there.
Who'd win that?
Well, Trudeau wouldn't want to mess
Christy,
his
you
hair
just
up.
want to see Trudeau rip his shirt off.
Yes, I do.
Well, the first guy with his shirt off would be
Have you
Putin.
seen,
You're right.
Yeah.
You're
Have
right.
you seen pictures of him, Trudeau? He's got the gray goatee or some beard. Like
Oh, yeah.
he
I
hasn't-
follow him on
He
Twitter.
hasn't shaved.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Oh, really?
Yeah, one
Yes.
of
And
my
his
things-
I
website,
do.
moist.com.
Of course you should.
He looks good. You
He
know,
does.
he's a good
Yeah,
looking
he's a
dude.
He's a
handsome guy.
handsome man.
Yeah.
Oh, wouldn't that be hilarious? And because Trump would have kind of a Gorgeous George-like thing. He'd come out with capes, and he's already got the Gorgeous George hair going.
That's true.
Well,
God,
also,
that would be
we
funny.
know what he would do because he's already been a part of the WWE.
He has. Yeah,
Oh, that's
you're right.
true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's the only guy that has a resume for this kind of
Oh,
thing.
you're
if we
right,
did.
Willie.
Right.
Exactly right.
He's kicked
Oh,
some
he's
ass
got.
before.
He has moves.
Yeah.
Yeah, and who's running Cuba these days? I'm not paying attention.
Fidel's brother, isn't
I
it?
thought he didn't.
Felix Castro.
Didn't
I
he
think.
go?
Raul or something.
Raul, it is
yeah.
Raul
I thought he was dead.
I don't think so.
He's clinging to life. I
Oh,
believe.
so I can't. I don't remember. I've stopped following it. But
All right. Well, if we do a Cuban baseball team, I'm going to be the manager. I'm on board now. Let's do this.
Okay.
Is the Castro a sandwich? Why am I thinking the Castro?
Cuban is a sandwich.
Cuban.
Yeah, the Castro's a neighborhood.
Yeah. 2 kinds of pork, little Swiss cheese, mustard.
The Cast Pro is a fishing rod.
The what?
The Cast
Pro.
Cast Pro?
Cast Pro.
Okay. It's valid.
The Fidel Cast
No,
Pro?
I think no.
They added Fidel on it.
No,
Wait,
I mean
Josh,
it's a valid point to bring the conversation to a little halt. We call that
remember this.
We call that the cap.
I will.
Yes, the quality comedy ended with the they do make a Cast Pro since we're not talking about fishing.
Essentially, we're being silly with the name Castro.
Wait, no, I'm on board with
actually
this.
added a joke. You said neighborhood. That was hilarious.
There's no doubt about that. Hey, guess what time it is?
What time is it, Chip?
Today in sports history, July 23rd.
You're reviving it.
Shut up. July 23rd. Don't call attention to the fact we're failing. Please don't say that. July 23rd, 1866. Do we have any guesses?
Whoa.
Is a baseball story.
Baseball story.
Abner Doubleday.
Yep. Nope.
Doubleday was a basketball guy, wasn't he?
Michael Jordan, triple-double.
Michael Jordan had a triple-double against the Utah Jazz.
Does anyone name their kid Abner anymore?
I don't know, but that'd be funny.
I think so.
You'd be the only one.
Yeah. What would you call him? Ab?
Abby? I think I knew a kid named
But then when they were, you'd be the whole, hey,
that was Abby.
here comes Lil Abner.
Yeah.
But that's kind of out of date, isn't it?
Right, but it's still a reminder of...
Which one was Little
That's
Abner
kind
again?
of out of date. I let him say it to my face.
Yeah. Ebenezer. I knew an Ebenezer in high school.
Really?
They called him Ebby. Man, he got the tail. Whew.
He did.
His dad owned a TV store. I think that's how he did it.
Oh, that'll do it.
Let me kiss you. I'll give you a TV.
Ebenezer, really?
Ebenezer.
Was that a family name, or he was like a Dickens fan?
I do not know.
Wow.
He didn't hang out with me.
Because, I mean,
I know you
Ebenezer
guys will find this hard to believe, but I was an incredible loser in high school.
You weren't. You were on the football team.
July 23rd. Shut up. 1866. Any other guesses?
Didn't we guess baseball?
First World Series.
Well, yeah, but can you be a little more specific?
They stopped using a stick and got real bats.
Okay,
They
Cincinnati
started
Baseball.
selling Cracker Jacks.
Cincinnati Baseball Club is formed.
Oh.
So it's a big day. The Red Stockings, Cincinnati Red Stockings.
Oh, that's cool.
Right.
That sounds hot. Red Stockings.
Hey, nice hams, Gertie.
Hams?
Ebenezer wants some tail.
It's gams.
Oldest stripper you've ever seen, Josh.
Oh.
Wow.
Parents don't count. Go.
I don't think I've seen an actual.
My mother would strip every Thanksgiving. Yes, we would sit around the table, and after the food was cleared off, of course, we'd...
And your dad would say, boy, I'm thankful for that, huh, kids?
Yeah.
Little Josh,
Everybody gathered around.
little Josh, you would have a turkey leg for dessert.
You should see it.
Leave the gravy out here. I'm dipping.
Oh, that's right.
Well, we made it
Honestly,
35
when I
minutes.
watched my mother dance naked for us, I'd be eating during it. I would have that. I'm so fat. I am fattest. I am fat. Nobody's fatter than me. Nobody's fatter than me. All I do, I eat.
Boy.
That's right. I don't know that it was
Well,
involuntary.
time to break the wishbone. Hand it to your mother. No, don't put it in her hand.
Don't bring it to the knees. Watch this. I don't think I've ever seen like a stripper. You know, one that has an act with like a fan or something.
Yeah,
or
I've
a
been to
boa.
some burlesque shows where they kind of have that, but not.
I remember as a little kid seeing previews of what was
Gypsy
that?
Rose Lee.
And thinking, this is so not sexy, erotic, or entertaining. I want nothing ever to do with this.
Wasn't Anne Rand, not Ayn Rand, Anne Rand, the fan dancer? Wasn't she a big-time fan dancer?
All those are so uninteresting to me.
I think
Just
she performed.
boring.
She performed for the Mercury astronauts, I think.
Oh, and that's right. They
Her
had that
naked
that
dance.
very uncomfortable scene in the movie. John Glenn's getting weird.
Goes on way too long.
Yeah.
They could have cut that.
That particular art form to me is about as boring as it gets.
No kidding.
I watch some woman walk around on stage for 20 minutes with big feathers, and eventually you might get a little nipple peek. Great.
I have a perfect story. My little cousin.
Oh, God.
Here
Careful,
we go.
no names.
My little cousin sent me a picture. She was at the strip club with her friends. And, Dad, you had a signed picture on the wall.
Yeah.
Wow.
Was it Lincoln, Nebraska? It must have
No,
been.
it was check Check local listings, baby.
Oh my God!
Oh, we did our show from that place.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
we
that was-
have our pictures on the wall, or maybe,
No,
maybe
it's
you
not
do.
we. It's him, and he's the only signature.
That's
yeah, that
funny.
was. We did our show from there once.
I almost
That was-
died there.
I saw Tom's signed picture at a restaurant once, and I told him about it. He goes, "I swear I've never eaten there."
Well, Joni would send pictures out to places all
Gotcha.
the time.
Yeah.
A lot of places in this town, they think people will come if they see that I'm on the wall.
I would never say that.
That sounds exactly like something you'd say.
Although I now have 2 different sushi places that recognize my voice on the phone.
Oh, God.
I can't exist with you anymore. Okay.
I'll say hello, and they go, "Hi, Tom."
Yeah, they know it's you.
Calling us.
Hilarious.
Easy.
No, it's true.
Do they just say, we got your order, don't worry about it? You don't even have to order?
Yesterday, when I was done with the order, she said, "You forgot the crystal roll," which is what I get.
Right.
I'd gotten everybody else's stuff, and I went, "Oh, yeah, thank you."
That's not like Crystal Pepsi, is it?
What's in a crystal roll?
I don't know. It's the only one.
Actual crystals.
It's the one I like.
The only one you like.
I think it's salmon and what else is in that thing? Oh, avocado.
Oh,
I think.
nice.
I don't know. I just
Yeah,
order
that
the same
sounds
thing every
exotic,
time. You know me. So there we are. So we're coming back with Cuban baseball.
More
and,
sports, nope. Iron Man and more NFL news.
And we got about 15 minutes before the guys have to have their song done.
I'm out, by the way. I couldn't focus on the break, so I'm not doing that anymore.
There you go.
Quitting. Okay, Pat. I've already got.
What are
a
you
few
gonna do?
lines for
Fire
I
him?
don't need a few lines.
Fire
I
him
can
from
handle
the
this.
can handle
side.
Jeez.
Okay. Once again, they have to write a song about glory holes. When we come, can we come back with it, Pat?
Maybe.
I'd like to
been
get on
sitting
there.
here and
You know,
enjoying
the
it.
only thing we have to do is figure out what Beatles tune he's going to use. That's it.
No, we
no.
already got a tune.
It's not a Beatles tune.
Oh, okay.
Chick,
You give him another 20 minutes. That's only fair. You said 40 minutes.
Okay, so he's got to write a song. You can help him, Willie. Come on.
Chick, you want to see how far I got?
How far do you- one.
He wrote the words "glory hole."
That's about as far as I got.
Glory hole.
Okay, good. We'll come back with Glory Hole News. This is the Bob and Tom Show.
Stay tuned. Who knows who will be next on the Bob and Tom Track Phone Hotline? This is the Bob and Tom Show. Morning laughter just might be the best medicine.
No matter how hard I try, can't keep my hands off my face.
Bob and Tom 24/7.
Hey, you never know what's going to happen here on the Bob and Tom Show. Today's Thursday, July 23rd. We're socially distancing, of course. Tom, Josh, Chick, and Ace in the main control room. Christy Lee over in another area, the Navy Federal Credit Union newsroom, and Willie Griswold also in the I guess we're calling it the hot box, and then there's Pat Godwin around the corner where fudge is made. So we're all here ready to entertain you. Glad you're here with us. Al Jackson on the way. You were listening to Bob and Tom 24/7.
I'm Chick McGee with your Bob and Tom Sports Update. The NFL Players Association says 95 players are now known to have tested positive for the virus. That number up from 72 in the union's last report on July 10th. The NFLPA and the NFL reached agreement Monday on COVID-19 testing as rookies begin reporting to training camps. Most veterans come in next week, though some players rehabbing injuries could report this week. Houston Rockets star Russell Westbrook is set to practice with the team for the first time since revealing he tested positive for the virus. Westbrook did not travel with the Rockets on July 9th when they flew to Florida for the NBA's restart. He's a 9-time All-Star. He revealed on social media he had tested positive for the virus on July 14th. He didn't arrive in Florida until Monday. And Mookie Betts and the Los Angeles Dodgers have struck baseball's first big money deal since the pandemic. The 12-year, $365 million contract runs through 2032 and removes the top offensive player from next offseason's free agent class. The deal is baseball's second largest in total dollars, behind the $426.5 million 12-year contract for the Angels outfielder Mike Trout. I'm Chick McGee, and that's your Bob and Tom Sports Update.
Ladies and gentlemen, Bob and Tom.
You realize when Josh is on the road, people are going to ask him to play this song during his shows.
Willie, I've quit the road.
There's no road. Give it up for Josh Arnold.
I'm so bad.
Start waving
keep that
as you
applause
take the
going as he
stage.
slowly makes his way to the stage. Whoops, there are stairs. Just keep clapping, please. We had to tell him this was Golden Corral to get him here. Josh Arnold.
Bob and Tom in the morning and highlights all day long.
The Bob and Tom Show, weekday mornings at 6 a.m. Eastern on Bob and Tom 24/7.
Hey, this is Henry Phillips, and you're listening to Bob and Tom 24/7. Well, what else would you be doing with your time?
Comedian Mickey Joseph has joined us in the studios.
There's a porno actor in California now who's taken the name Ricky Ricardo.
No, there isn't.
Oh yeah, which kind of changes it, you know. Oh yes, I'm Cuban Pete. I've got 10 pounds of hanging meat. And every time I go jig jiggy boom, jig jiggy boom, jig jiggy boom. Oh yes, I'm Cuban Pete. Mine goes halfway across the street. And every time I go jig jiggy boom, jig jiggy boom, jig jiggy boom. Hey señorita, would you like a big burrito? It's very nice, so full of spice. Hey, why don't we go down to my place in San Francisco? I'm hard as metal. Just ask Fred and Ethel. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Spanning the globe to bring you the constant variety of
curvy cleavage on display.
the thrill of victory and the agony of defeat.
Don't touch those.
Sorry. The human drama of
curvy cleavage on display.
this is
The Bob and Tom Show. No shoes, no shirt, no talent.
I was flying from South Bend to here. I was on a plane this big. It was like a pack of gum with 8 people in it. What happened was we took off from the South Bend Airport Hair Care and Tire Center there. I don't know if you've ever been there. We got halfway here. We had to go back. It's like a 12-minute flight. We had to go back. We had engine trouble. We lost some oil pressure in one of the engines, and they told us about it over the speaker system of the plane, which was stupid because they could have just went, hey, we lost some oil
They
pressure.
just a little turn around and yelled at you.
The guy sitting next to me is losing his mind. He goes, hey man, if one of these engines fails, how far will the other one take us? And I was like, all the way to the scene of the crash.
Lowell Sanders is here with us.
I'm on the road.
Are you
Now, Lowell,
single?
are you a
I'm
single man?
Yeah, I left a wife in Detroit.
Oh, okay.
I see how it works.
Police should have found her by now. I'm kidding. They won't find her.
Ain't no way. You're that good, aren't you?
Now, we've got a couple of heads in here that have a lot of skin on them.
646 at Q95. It's the Bob and Tom Show. Let's check in with Christy Lee for a quick weather forecast.
Thank you, Chick.
You're welcome.
Q95, Fox 59 weather. A mix of sun and clouds today with a high of 87. Clear tonight down to 71, partly cloudy 85 tomorrow. 73 currently.
Thank you very much. Well, what's coming up in terms of winning money, Christy?
Well, we have a chance at $1,000 coming up soon.
Are you kidding me? That's unbelievable. Thank you so much. Also, more information about something else. Oh, sorry.
You kids at home, if you want to know how to be on the radio, just sit back and take notes, baby. Yes, sir.
You know, week 4 of broadcast school.
Be there, in the room. I want to be in the room where it happens. Or taking a pee in the room and missing the first part of the break. Okay, I'm back. Let's see now. I got a good letter here.
Oh, good.
Get to it in just a second here. First off, let's see. Engineer Ace Cosby, sports guy Chick McGee.
Hey, man.
Man seated in the IHateStevenSinger.com sidekick chair. Steven Singer reminding you, hey, wouldn't it be nice if she got a little box with some earrings in it or something? Check it out, IHateStevenSinger.com. Through the glass over there in the hot box, it's Willie G.
The man sitting in that chair is Josh Arnold. You keep forgetting.
Well, remember, when I don't do it, you owe me $100. Let's see. Christy Lee is in the other.
Doesn't make any sense at all.
I have a terrible lawyer. I have a terrible lawyer.
Poor
There's
Josh.
Josh. I'm sorry, Josh is over there.
No,
Christy's over there. Christy is in the Navy Federal Credit Union newsroom. Patty G in the other building working on a song.
Done.
A trip. Oh, all right, good. A tribute to the glory hole that is in the news. That is actually in the used by the authorities in Canada. The word glory hole. We'll find out more about that. But right now, I mentioned this a couple days ago. As you know, everywhere you go, they have...
People want to know who we are, so we
What do you call them? Squirter things full of...
Hand sanitizer.
Hand sanitizer. And the squirter gizmos. You go, and then you get it.
You know how Churchill had like a gigantic vocabulary? Tom's just like that, only the exact opposite.
No, I've got a decent vocabulary. Sometimes I can't grasp. I just can't grab them out of my mind. Okay. That's why I like to slow down and do a crossword puzzle. It makes me remember, I know that word. So here we go.
Favor you slowing down.
So I was in this restaurant, and I was checking out, getting some food to go. And they have the squirter gizmo, and I squirt the hand sanitizer after I've touched their pen.
You don't carry your own pen?
Yeah, why don't?
Actually, usually I do, and I didn't have it.
Oh, okay.
In any event, I told you this. I squirted this stuff in my hands, and I was rubbing my hands going out, and it literally smelled like
ass.
Like ass. This hand sanitizer. And I said, "What's going on?" I have an explanation here. This comes to us from Zach. He begins with a traditional greeting that I often get here on the Bob and Tom Show. As much as it pains me to type this, Tom was right. Right, Zach. Oh, by the way, he's our new windbag vice president. When he was talking about hand sanitizer that smelled like a colonoscopy and no one believed him, he was probably correct. I work for a chemical company, and due to the lack of isopropyl alcohol, companies are using ethanol instead. One of the additives being used has a terrible smell, and we have had countless complaints about, Christy, listen to this. I'm reading this verbatim.
Gotcha.
About the ethanol we sell smelling like ass.
Oh, really? It's what he says.
So, so be on the lookout. And I'm not kidding. This stuff, my hand, I'd be like, whoa, this is just awful.
Yeah, that's terrible.
Yeah, he walked up to me and he goes, hey, smell my finger. It was ridiculous.
Oh, yeah, that's rough. Yeah,
Absurd.
Yeah, you don't know what was happening there.
Yeah, I'm not sure I should tell this story.
How did I know that you'd be
Here we
one of
go.
those dads that would just sit and go call, hey, Willie, come here. When he gets there, just rip ass.
I mean, I guess I can tell this because it's true.
I don't know. What is it?
One of my uncles had a pretty serious bout with polio, as did my dad. But one of my
genetics, huh?
One of my no, just random. It was that era.
It was airborne.
One of my uncles had he was pretty much confined to a wheelchair and had very little hand movement. And he did have a beautiful little girl. And
your cousin?
Yeah, I feel awkward telling this story, but
you remember the day that he asked Willie how many sisters he has? You remember that day?
Yeah,
Okay, yeah. His son. He asked his son how many.
All right, so you were making out with your cousin.
No.
On Thanksgiving.
And this is really gross. She would. I'll try to be delicate.
Wipe his ass?
No, not
What?
that.
Where are we going?
Let me tell the story. So again, he's in a wheelchair. Really, he could move one of his hands enough to operate a phone. Great guy. He became very successful. Really nice guy.
Of course.
But when she was a little girl, she would take her finger and place it in the most indelicate area of her body, on the rear side of things.
Put a finger in her ass?
And then stick it under her dad's nose and go, hey, Daddy, smell this.
Oh, man.
Of course, being confined to the wheelchair with very little hand motion, there was nothing he could do.
Oh.
She found that hilarious.
That little girl, she's a monster.
Yeah,
she's a bad seed.
She is a bad seed, yeah.
Well, that's...
And you got a kick out of it.
No, I always thought that was incredibly disgusting. But anyway, that answers your question about why some of this hand sanitizer smells like ass. Thank you, Zach,
Makes
the new vice president of the Junior Windbag Society.
It'll teach you people to ask questions, okay? Yeah.
Okay, thank
Keep
you
it to
very
yourself.
much. Okay, good. What else you got in the sports desk?
This year's Ironman World Championships that I had every intention of entering.
Yeah.
Oh, man, you were training? You had
what
it.
happened?
You had it this year.
It's been
By the way,
canceled.
my uncle I just talked about, he was the Iron Lung.
Iron Lung Man?
Yeah, boy, is it a bitch making those float.
The one that couldn't use
the
his
swim
hands.
is
You ever
tough.
just throw a tennis ball at him and just
No.
watch it hit his chest?
Of course not.
Maybe hand him a bowl of hot soup.
Use your bucket.
He used to drink a beer out of a long straw.
Oh.
Seriously.
He didn't like all the pranks, but he would just kind of roll with it.
There we go, Zach.
I heard you get drunker faster.
With a straw?
With a straw, yeah.
Is that true?
I've heard, yeah.
Why?
Oxygenation and
That's BS.
the carbonation. meet,
Okay, just get back to your little story.
Impulse.
What was it? What exciting thing were we exploring?
Competition at Ironman had initially been scheduled for October this year, and then they scheduled it February 6, 2021. That's when they're going to. I got more time to train, Josh.
All right.
The Ironman 70.3 World Championship, which had been postponed to early 2021, has also been canceled. It's the first time the triathlon event will not be run in its 43-year history.
Man.
If these men and women can't survive this thing, who can? Come on. That's why they should do it. That's part of the competition, not dying.
No, I think that.
Oh, Tom.
What is the Monty Python bit, the twit of the year, where
Yes,
everybody kills themselves?
And he's run himself over.
Yes, that's right. They twit to the end. Then they have the podium, and they're all with caskets because they didn't make it. Tom.
Okay, sorry.
They're that dumb.
That makes that visual really
And
sells it.
finally, in sports, the NFL.
Teaser, we have to take a break.
NFL has made an announcement, and
We'll find out what it is
We'll
soon.
revisit my proclamation from July 7th, 2020.
Willie and Pat Godwin, you got your song ready?
Yeah, we're all done.
Okay, good. Looking forward to hearing it. Thank you, guys. When we come back, this is the Bob and Tom Show.
This is the Bob and Tom Show. Text us at 888-262-8661. More Bob and Tom next.
Hi, this is Rodney Carrington, and you are listening to Bob and Tom 24/7.
Hey, Bob and Tom fans, thanks so much for joining us here on a Thursday morning. Al Jackson on the way. He's going to be zooming his way here from Denver, Colorado. We'll catch up with Al and see what he's been up to. Special thanks to our engineering crew here in the Frigamall building. Yesterday morning, a vehicle hit a power pole in front of our building and took out a lot of our utilities. It happened early in the evening. However, it took all night to get things back up and running. So we had a couple of glitches yesterday behind the scenes, and that may have also included listening to the Bob and Tom 24/7 feed. We apologize for that, but again, it was beyond our control. But we're all dialed back in, and again, thanks to our engineering crew. We certainly appreciate all of their hard work. We couldn't do it without them, and we couldn't do it without you right here on Bob and Tom 24/7. More of the show after this.
Hi, everybody. Christy Lee from the Navy Federal Credit Union News Desk. Senate Republicans and the White House have reached tentative agreement for more testing funds in the next COVID-19 relief package. But deep disagreements over the scope of the $1 trillion in federal aid remain ahead of Thursday's expected rollout. Facing a GOP revolt, Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell is preparing a handful of COVID-19 aid bills instead of a single package. That's the word from a top lawmaker involved in the negotiations. The mayor of Portland, Oregon, was tear-gassed by federal agents late last night as he stood with protesters at a fence guarding a federal courthouse. Mayor Ted Wheeler said it was the first time he'd been tear-gassed and appeared slightly dazed and coughed as he put on a pair of goggles someone handed him. Earlier in the night, Wheeler was jeered as he tried to rally demonstrators who've clashed nightly with federal agents sent in by the president to quell ongoing unrest in that city. Would you feel safer about flying during the pandemic if you could be sure that no one flying with you had a fever? Well, Southwest Airlines is betting you would, so it's rolling out a new program to check passengers for signs of infection. The airline will test thermal cameras beginning next month at Love Field in Dallas. The trial could run up to 3 months as Southwest checks for accuracy and considers which temperature checks will slow the boarding process. The airline says readings captured by the thermal cameras won't be linked to individual travelers. And that's your news. I'm Christy Lee. More of the Bob and Tom Show's on the way.
Hello. You're listening to Bob and Tom 24/7. This has been Chick McGee speaking.
Morning radio. All day and all night.
Some like Bud, some like Schlitz.
Clock at Q95. Hi there, it's the Bob and Tom Show. We're live.
We got some serious cash coming up, so pay attention. You got a shot at some money. Now, let's see. Christy's got a quick forecast.
Q95 Fox 59 weather brought to you by the CarX Man. Mix of sun and clouds today with a high of 87. A stray shower is still possible, but a very slight chance. Clear down to 71. Partly cloudy 85 tomorrow. 73 right now.
Thank you very much. My buddy Dr. Lanter, he helped me out. I have multifocal lenses inside my eyes. I don't have to scroll around with contacts. I don't have to wear glasses anymore when I drive. Don't wear glasses when I read. Ace Cosby has got the same thing going. Exactly. Thank you, Dr. Lanter. You'll find him on his Facebook page, Lanter. Oh, by the way, he also took care of Mr. Chick McGee.
Yes, he did.
Dr. Lanter did the LASIK on Chick McGee.
Distance vision correction.
If you're looking to get some help with your eyes, check out Dr. Lanter's Facebook page. He also discovered that I had a detached retina. That got real serious last summer. So you only got two eyes, I hope. So hope you got two left. Have Dr. Lanter look at one or both of them.
Yeah.
Maybe you have a third eye. That would be cool.
Let's not bring in the someone lost an eye during the Lanter spot, can we?
Okay, let's see, sir. It's Dr. Lanter. Check it out. Thank you very much, Earl. Welcome back to the Bob and Tom Show. Let's see, we are, what is today? The 23rd of July. It's a Thursday. We're here. And glad to be here. Hope you're doing okay through all this confusion. And in the big room, it's Ace, Chick. I'm Tom. That's Josh. Josh, of course, in the IHateStevensinger.com. Get her some cool jewelry chair. Christy Lee is right over there behind the glass in the Navy Federal Credit Union newsroom. There's Willie. There's, I can see him on the big screen over there to my left. In a different building, it's Pat Godwin.
Hi.
And Pat and Willie were challenged to come up with a song about a news story coming up about glory holes in Canada. And you ready, Pat?
Yeah, sure.
You guys are okay. Christy, do you want to do the story so we know what we're talking about here?
Canada has advised the use of so-called glory holes for people looking to have sex during the pandemic. The recommendation from the British Columbia Centre for Disease Control reads, quote, use barriers like walls or glory holes that allow for sexual contact but prevent close face-to-face contact.
Now, can you imagine a government edict using the term glory hole?
Yeah, it is weird.
Well, I remember New York City did a similar thing, but they danced around it.
Yeah.
They said use barriers. They didn't actually type glory hole.
Well, I think glory hole is a sort of an urban slang porno term.
Yeah.
Other suggestions for ways you can protect yourself from being exposed to the virus include washing up thoroughly before and after sex, wearing a face mask, limiting the exchange of bodily fluids, and choosing sexual positions that limit face-to-face contact.
Well, don't they? I mean, they do it Canadian style up there.
Oh, that's right.
It's just doggy style, but it's just so both of you can watch the hockey game.
Of course. One of the classics.
Yes, exactly.
Everyone knows Canadian stuff.
During the anthem, everyone does their "Oh Canada" face.
In response to the change in sex guidelines, YouPorn Vice President Charlie Hughes offered British Columbia a $100,000 grant to build glory holes all across the province.
That's a name you want to do business with. Charlie Hughes.
Charlie Hughes.
How you doing?
What's the name of his company?
Isn't YouPorn?
Oh, is that...
It's similar to a Pornhub.
Yeah.
Okay.
You said, quote, hope to see you on the other side.
We need to think of an alternative name for glory holes, what we need to do. Like an entry.
Oh, I see.
I don't know.
Call it a fun time circle.
That's not bad.
Yeah, but that sounds like something from a kid's show.
Romper Room.
Right.
Yeah. All right, kids, it's time to make the fun time circle.
That sounds like the original name of the hula hoop.
Hey, come get Dr. Hughes, fun time circle.
I'm Charlie Hughes.
But isn't glory hole used at construction sites? Isn't that what they call the hole? If you're looking through...
Really?
Yes.
That's how it started?
I saw it in Boston. I was in Boston one time, and they had those big cardboard, those big wood paneled fences up, and they had what they called, I thought, was a glory hole. And you could look in and see
if you can look in with your eyes while standing up, that would be it wouldn't be really much of a glory hole unless you were really tall.
Yeah.
It'd be an NBA glory hole.
Right, but that's what I'm saying.
47? What's going on? Oh, sorry.
I always thought that's where the term came from.
Oh, could be.
I like to go to glory holes and say things like, "How am I supposed to kiss you?"
But I love you. I know I do.
Why would I want to use it? It must be really hard to hold hands with a glory hole.
Okay. Well, now, so Pat, you have taken the Canadian government's cue.
Willie and I have, yeah.
Okay.
And I helped.
What have you got?
I'd like to tell you about Canada and what they're doing up there. If Margot wants to have sex with a dude named Pierre, he stands behind a hole in the wall. She's on the other side. They tell him it's really her, but it's a dude they lied. And they call it G. L. O. R. Y. G-L-O-R-Y. Whole glory hole. G-L-O-R-Y. Whole glory hole.
All right.
Wow.
Yes, sir.
Pierre got fooled.
Yeah.
Who knew?
Yes,
okay.
yeah.
Now
the
that's
danger,
a song.
The danger of the glory hole. Thank you very much. We now return to. Oh, wait a minute. We've got something else here.
He went with that Gloria instead of the Laura Branigan Gloria. You'll notice.
There were many choices, Josh.
I was thinking glory, like glory days, like Springsteen.
Glory.
I did that a month ago, actually.
Josh, is the one that you mentioned, is that the one that the Blues play?
Yeah, your dad, one of his favorite songs.
I cannot stand that song. Everything, the production's awful, the song stinks, and we had to suffer through it for a year.
I don't know what you're talking about. That's a great song.
No, it's not. Do you have it over there? You're going
I
to
don't
make
think
me
I
suffer through it again? Okay, good. We have something else here from the Dinos.
Oh, good.
Is that right?
Very rare appearance. The Dinos have probably heard Getting Back Together.
Oh, terrific. What's in this day and age, no less.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, this is
Socially distanced Dinos.
Yeah, this is apparently another tribute to the Glory Hole. Let's give it a listen.
I'm f***ing a hole.
Right away.
I'm sorry we had to hit the button on that one. That was just
You're filling your own verb.
inappropriate. Don't play it again. Oh.
I'm f***ing a hole.
Boy, the Dinos.
Here we go. That's a song.
There we go.
Gloria.
Woo! Look at Josh. He loves it. Yeah.
Josh, I like your dance moves, man. The kind of right, left, loose, one finger points.
That boy's got moves.
Oh, Josh does have the moves.
Oh, thank you. Thank you very much.
Okay, we have enough.
Josh, I don't know when it's going to happen, but eventually me and you are going to drain like 8 beers, dance to this song, and talk shit about my dad, and I can't wait.
We'll talk about your dad, yeah.
That's right. Allow me.
Are we back?
Allow me. Hang on a second. Willie, welcome to the show.
Hey!
Welcome.
Yeah,
your
first
indoctrination is
man.
complete, and you're allowed to move forward.
So what he said was Josh's dancing is excellent.
Yes.
That's exactly right.
Yes, he did.
We got
been a pretty good last day, hasn't it?
we got this.
Somebody's getting a spanking tonight.
Oh, gosh.
The Washington football team, ever since they announced that the old name has gone away, the internet been on the hunt for any leads, insider information, anything at all, a hint about what the new name might be. Well, there's a new one out there.
Oh.
Some gentleman on Reddit has floated that the same name that registers and manages the term Redskins.com has registered a new domain, DCSentinels.com.
All right.
Yeah. And
Sentinel.
I mention this because if you're wondering, yes, they got the name probably from the movie The Replacements with Keanu Reeves and Gene Hackman.
Oh, gosh.
They are that was based on the Washington Redskins and their strike team when they went on to win the Super Bowl. That movie's called The Replacements with Keanu Reeves and Gene Hackman. And the team in that is called the Sentinels. The Washington
And a sentinel is what, a guard?
Yeah, a watchman, essentially.
I guess.
Okay.
Among fans, though, I think Red Wolves and
Red Tails
Red
is the one,
Tails
I think.
are 1-2 right now, and then Warriors at number 3.
I do like the DC change because I never got, because Washington sounds like it's in Washington State.
Right.
It does.
And I think DC would probably look better on a jersey. I think you could do cool logo stuff with DC.
There are several players who had Hall of Fame careers with Washington, and they thought when they were drafted they were going to Seattle.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
I bet.
that absolutely happened. Yep.
And then, and with the way things are going, the name Washington is controversial now. So maybe they're trying to go, hey, let's just get ahead of this thing.
Well, then they have to tackle Columbia.
Oh, God. Let's
do one at a time, shall we?
Well,
Okay.
I'm just saying.
So the DC Sentinels.
DC Sentinels.
Not
That's
bad.
a hot rumor.
I like the DC Red Tails.
DC Red Tail. Okay.
That'd be good. That'd be good.
Yeah, that all sound. All those sound good. I do wish though that they were able to come up with another Native American, a proper Native American
tribute.
reference.
You know, that'd be
reverential. Or
they'd have to get a committee.
They would have.
Representatives of various indigenous people.
Exactly. It would have been difficult, but
it's one of those things that it'd be very tough to get everybody to agree. I think on a committee. But hey, who knows? It's their club. Let them figure it out.
And the NFL has also announced that all fans attending games for teams now, and this is not a good idea, I don't think, in this reporter's opinion.
Yes.
They're leaving it up to the teams whether they're going to have fans or not. What the hell does that? What's that supposed to mean?
It's not a league-wide thing?
The Eagles have already announced there are no fans. Jets and Giants have announced no fans.
Well, it also depends on the states because
some states have less.
have different
Right.
No, the NFL
rules.
teams are they're their own government. You know that.
I think we all know that from a tax standpoint, that's the truth.
It remains unclear to what extent.
Senator, would you like some good seats for the games? Yeah. Would you sign this?
A number of teams planning for dramatically reduced numbers of fans in the stands at this point. So we'll see.
How do you do that? Do you put all the season ticket holders in a lottery and draw names?
I guess.
We're going to find out real soon.
And remember,
now, I wonder if they're making. I know they're making checkered flag face masks for race fans. Presumably, they're making logoed face
they're already
masks
out there. Right?
for football fans.
Absolutely.
And for some of the lesser teams, I imagine they're making face masks that look like brown paper bags.
Breathe into this.
So as if you're one of the unknown comic look.
They should make for football a single bar. A single bar
Yeah,
face mask.
I think they should too. They probably have.
So it looks like, that's a great idea.
But yeah, that's so
you're
cool.
wearing that's
Eisman
funny.
wore the
I
single bar.
almost bought a Hannibal Lecter one.
Did you?
It looks like the mask that Hannibal's wearing when a nice
good.
suit. But part of me thinks it's a little weird to be
scaring kids.
Well, and it's like
You're making
fun of it.
This isn't much of a celebration. per se.
Yeah, but I think a little humor would be nice.
I'm on the fence.
Josh, I had this exact same thought. I think I'm going to get the Dharma Initiative mask.
Yeah.
And then I think I'm going to get a Pacers mask because Malcolm Brogdon, who had coronavirus, has been practicing in a mask, and he looks very cool. And if I wear one, I can be cool like him.
There you go.
Right.
Yeah, that's.
I mean, I guess we should
not very
embrace-
solid logic, but go for it.
But we should maybe just embrace the situation we're in and go ahead and make them sort of
The one thing,
personalized.
there's a couple things about the mask that are weird. One of them is, and Pat had a song about how you can't tell what someone really looks like.
Right, yeah.
But also you can't tell if someone's laughing or smiling.
Yeah.
Or, you know what I mean? It just they're staring at you and... Yeah,
I can tell.
They almost turn everybody.
You can tell?
Well, if somebody's smiling, their eyes do a thing.
Little
you can tell.
twinkle?
They turn everybody into an ex-wife. They're just standing there staring at you.
Scowling.
Chick, I was at the grocery store, and there was a little kid in the cart in front of me, and I kind of just gave him a little smile and a nod, and then I realized that I was wearing a mask so no one could see it. I was like, oh, this mom probably thinks I'm a creep. Staring at her damn kid.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I think so. Have they made them that have the word Karen across the mouth?
Probably.
That's
There's got to be
becoming-
backlash to that. People upset that they're using Karen and they need to stop.
Yeah, they do need to stop.
yeah.
There
I
are
think-
a lot of nice Karens.
Is that going to last?
I don't know of
No,
any,
Christy,
but
that's kind of the problem. I feel
Right.
bad for a lot of women with the name Karen.
Sure.
Honestly, at this point, it's for any hack any comedian doing a Karen joke, I would say is pretty hacked. to be
But
honest.
That's the shelf life is.
It's very tired.
but who's going to get upset by it? The very Karens we're making fun of. There you go. Case argues itself.
Christy, I don't think you have to worry about it. This is going to die pretty soon.
Yeah, I
I'm
think
not
so
worried.
too.
I'm just glad they didn't use Christy. Yeah.
Yeah.
That would have been terrible.
Please.
I say it's not too late.
Is there going to be a Karen organization? Are they going to get together some? Never mind.
Yes, it's the Karens United National.
Bunko night.
I really thought that maybe just by floating it out there, we could leave it.
Okay.
Let everyone create their own.
Man, I'm gripping coming up with a T word.
Let's move on. Everybody, let's see. Let's move forward here. What do we got? I wanted to remind you that this is the time when, sure, you want to spend some alone time. How about some great earbuds so you can have some good stuff coming into your head?
Yep.
You get to choose what it would be. That's where the Raycon earbuds come in. And Chick McGee is my Raycon earbuds expert.
That's exactly right. You know, around here, you put up with me for a couple of years trying to find the right earbuds, and I finally did the E25 earbuds from Raycon. They are the best. 6 hours of playtime. They have all the features everyone enjoys and craves for in earbuds. 6 hours of playtime. Seamless Bluetooth pairing, more bass, and a more compact design, and like 4 or 5 colors. Gives you a nice noise-isolating fit. Be alone in a room full of people on your own little planet of music. Raycon's wireless earbuds are comfy and perfect for on-the-go listening and for taking phone calls. And unlike some of the other wireless options, Raycon earbuds are both stylish and discreet, and they don't have the dangling wires or the stems. And celebrities like Snoop Dogg and yours truly,
yes,
that's right, obsessed with Raycons. Now's the time to see what the hype is all about. Do it! And you get 15% off your order at buyraycon.com/Tom. That's buyraycon.com/Tom. 15% off. I say slash. 15% off Raycon wireless earbuds. buyraycon.com/Tom.
Thank you very much, Chigby. Coming up, a little bit of Donnie Baker, a little bit of a very unusual story about a 4-year-old poet.
Oh.
He's going to get published. We'll find out about it. This is the Bob and Tom Show.
Hi, this is Kostaki Economopoulos, and you are listening to Bob and Tom 24/7.
That is the voice of Kostaki Economopoulos. My name is Mark Allison. We talked to Kostaki on Tuesday with his Economonologues. We'll look forward to talking to Kostaki next week as well. Usually on a Tuesday, he's in Los Angeles, California, and he zooms his way in to entertain us. And speaking of zooming his way in, Al Jackson on the way this morning from Denver, Colorado. We'll catch up with Al and see what he's been up to right after this on Bob and Tom 24/7.
Hi, everybody. Christy Lee from the Navy Federal Credit Union Entertainment News Desk. Clint Eastwood is taking nearly 24 companies to court because he says they're suggesting he's hawking CBD products. The actor-director has filed a pair of lawsuits against the companies who he says have used his name and image to plug their firms. The suit says the companies have spread phony articles reporting that Eastwood had quit Hollywood to focus on businesses that sell products that include the active ingredient in pot. The lawsuit says not only is Eastwood not involved in the CBD industry, he has never even endorsed it. And those of you following the Johnny Depp libel trial may have thought you'd heard everything about that brawl-filled incident in March 2015 involving the couple in Australia, where his ex-wife Amber Heard accused Depp of domestic abuse, and Depp lost part of his finger in that incident, if you'll recall. Well, there are more details coming out yesterday in testimony. Heard said during the 3-day stay at a rented property, Johnny Depp was completely out of his mind and out of control after abusing drugs and alcohol. She said he threw 30 or so bottles at her as if they were grenades or bombs. If you would like to hear more, the 4th day and expected final day of her testimony is today. And Kim Kardashian West is defending her husband Kanye after he sent out a series of tweets saying he was divorcing her and she was trying to lock him up. Kardashian West writes on Instagram that her husband is bipolar, which makes life incredibly complicated and painful. She understands those who want to comment about him because he's a public figure, but is asking for compassion and empathy as the family works through it. Kanye West has deleted those tweets, by the way. And that's your entertainment news. I'm Christy Lee. More of the Bob and Tom Show coming up.
Essential Morning Radio. All day and all night.
You might as well shoot me when the beer runs out.
Bob and Tom 24/7. 24/7.
It's a little love song I wrote some years back. It's actually a sort of a breakup song. I'd always dedicated it to all the wonderful women who treated me like a load of crap over the years. And it's a little love song.
All right.
Woke up this morning and you were gone. Found a note, it said so long. You said this love would last our lives. I hope your face breaks out in hives. I hope you die a painful death. I hope you choke on your next breath. You screwed me up, you done me wrong. I hope you die before too long. Hope you have a heart attack. I hope your breasts get really slack. You were my girl, but now you're not. I hope you die, I hope you rot. 'Cause I don't wanna be your friend. I only want your life to end. You're back in town, someone else's gal. I hope you drown in the love canal. I hope you die a painful death. I hope you choke on your next breath. Screwed me up, you done me wrong. I hope you die before too long. I hope you die before I end the song. Hope you die. I really, really hope you die. Die, 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 die. You and die. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Hey man, this is Donnie Baker, and this is Bob and Tom 24/7. I swear to God it is. That's like all day and most of the night.
Yeah, but it turns out I don't sleep well anyway. I've been grinding my teeth. I didn't know I grind my teeth until I woke up. My husband was pouring coffee beans into my mouth. What a weird way to save time in the morning.
No kidding, but it's fresh coffee.
You have the distinction of looking like a 19-year-old Brian Dunkelman.
Thank you.
No,
Thank
he
you
doesn't
very
look
much.
anything
I
like He doesn't look like Dunkelman.
Yeah, he does.
No, he
Yes,
doesn't.
he does.
We all agree.
No, he does like a young...
I get the what's his name, the lead singer of Green Day sometimes.
Oh, yeah,
That's
Billy
good.
Joe.
That up.
Billy Joe, yeah.
Billy,
That's
little
good.
Billy Joe.
Yeah.
The
Yeah,
ladies
sure.
like Billy Joe.
Uh-huh.
I also look kind of like a hobbit, which is not as sexy as being a rock and roll guy.
Hobbit?
You're a tall hobbit.
Well, it's because of the hair on his feet.
It is. It's large feet.
Hey there, 722 at Q95. It's the Bob and Tom Show.
Pay close attention. There could be some serious cash opportunities ahead. I'll put it that way, so you could win some serious money. But first, Christy Lee has the weather forecast.
Brought to you by the CarX Man. Partly cloudy today, 87. Clear tonight, 71. Partly cloudy tomorrow, 85. We have 73 degrees.
Thank you very much, Christy Lee. Also, I'll remind you that we've got our golf outing. Details coming up. It'll be at Top Golf. Welcome back to the Bob and Tom Show. In the big room, Ace Cosby, our engineer. Chick McGee at the Sports Desk. This is Tom speaking. Josh is wearing his Josh shirt with his name on it. I like that very much.
Thank you, and thank you, Christy Lee, for getting it.
You're
It
welcome.
makes this segment so much easier for me to introduce you. And I although I forgot your name a couple breaks ago.
That's okay. That's all right.
Forgot to mention it, I should say.
Tom, you have one of those shirts. You could wear it one day.
It's made of polyester, Christy.
Are you sure about that?
Is it cotton?
I don't know. I thought
It's cotton. Is it cotton?
And it was 2 pockets. I thought I got it all covered
Then
so you would wear it.
Then I will wear
Bless
it.
her heart, she really thought about it. Now you don't even know where it is.
Oh, it's short sleeve. I'll
Yeah, that's
I'll
the
have to have
problem.
sleeves added. That's Christy Lee in the Navy Federal Credit Union newsroom. Willie G is over there getting very much at home in the show. You can tell by the fact that there was this little slippage
Just one of us.
during the
I'm
last
going
break.
to say it. I'm going to say the big one.
No, you're not.
I'm just kidding.
So you roll your sleeves all the way up past your elbow, but you won't wear a short sleeve shirt.
That's exactly correct. Thank you.
That tells you
Patty
everything you
G
need
is
to
in the
know.
next room, and Pat came up with a great song. I'm not sure Willie was involved.
I'm still humming it in my head.
There's a song. There's a news story out of Canada. This is legit. The Canadian government, and as Willie pointed out, New York, the state was it the state of New York that had a thing earlier with respect to intimate relations, suggesting that various things be applied to the situation, which would keep people from having too much contact, which is completely ridiculous. But they actually suggested the use of a so-called glory hole. Glory hole, the term, I did a little research in an old factory where smoke and dust were everywhere. An opening would create an illusion, not unlike that seen in paintings of saints and angels where the glory radiated from their heads.
Oh, wow.
A break in the clouds where sunlight passes through is also called a glory hole.
Oh,
so
gotcha.
it's got, but the glory hole slang term refers to a, let's just say an orifice with which, never mind.
Yeah, sure.
The point is, Pat, nice new song about
Thanks.
glory holes in Canada. You got another one?
Christy gave me an idea I could do.
Oh, well, go ahead. Let's hear it.
All right, please welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Bruce Springsteen. Woo!
Oh, the boss.
Wow.
Woohoo! Hey, everybody!
Hey.
How you doing?
Hey, Bruce.
Yeah.
I'm reading your book right now. It's amazing.
Do you like it?
It's brilliant. It's the best rock and roll book I've ever read.
Thank you very much. I had no help with it. And I need no help with this intro. Maybe I do. Here we go. I used to be such a player before COVID-19. I get down with the women now, if you know what I mean.
Sure.
Now I can't go to a local bar, hit on the ladies, I miss it so. That's right. But the Canadian new guideline says a place where you can go. glory hole. I'll give it a try, glory hole. See the snake with just one eye, glory hole. Glory hole. Ha! Glory hole!
Thank you. Patty G.
Man, you're going to have to gargle with salt water or something. Your throat. Wow.
It seems fine to me, Jeff.
I actually am reading the Bruce Springsteen book, and it is.
Well, no, you're not. You're listening to
It's the best book ever.
You're listening to the audiobook. That's different.
That's different.
Nah, but it's a
In
little,
what
more,
way?
little more passive than.
Well, I could read it, except I'm driving, and it would be awfully dangerous.
Well,
to
I
be
recommend it.
turning
I
the
have
pages.
seen. I have seen someone with the book on their steering wheel driving.
What?
And I think I don't think I'm alone.
Did you honk madly?
No,
What are you doing?
I just drove away from them. Actually, I slowed down so they drove away from me. But still, yeah.
Yeah, I have both the book on my phone and the book on my phone in audio form. But we were talking about the coin shortage yesterday.
Yeah.
What do you mean? You read along with them?
I have done that.
Oh, no kidding?
Yeah.
Have you really?
Yes.
I typically get both, so I can actually read it and listen to it. What if I'm driving? In any event, the point of the story is there's a great scene in which Bruce is he really had no money at this point, zero. So he had to go into New York City on a bus, but he didn't have enough money for bus fare, so he borrowed a car. Put all his money together, and he had $1 to get through the toll, and he had it in pennies, and you're not supposed to pay in pennies, but the lady, okay. So she counts them out, and she's real pissy, and then she hands it back, and one of the coins was Canadian. So he's at the tunnel, so he said he put the car in park.
Oh, my God.
Starts searching this. It's a friend of his car, searching the car. People honking.
Oh, yeah.
And this is right when he's just about to get an audition with John Hammond, and he's just about to make it, maybe. And he finds a penny somewhere in the back seat in one of the clefts of the chair. It's a great scene. Terrific book, though. Now, let's move forward here. We have
all made up.
A lot to get to. Oh, my God, never mind.
Ghost Rider.
No point. I don't know. There's no made up jackasses. Could you get the phone, please?
Hello, Bob and Tom Show.
Hey, Bob and Tom, it's Donnie Baker.
Oh, hey, Donnie, how are you?
I'm using my cousin Lonnie's earbuds again. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah,
good?
I can hear you. What's up?
Tommy's talking about this coin shortage. Imagine the impact this is having right now on parking meters, peep shows, and truck stop Cologne.
I never thought about that.
Yeah.
Huh.
And I know you're doing more stories about that David Rush guy setting another world record.
Yeah, David Rush. I think he has the world record for world records now. I think.
Does he, or he's getting close?
He's going for it. Yeah, he gets all kinds of records, Johnny.
No joke. How much free time does this dick have, anyways? You know, I bet his family wishes he'd try setting the Guinness record for most time spent playing with your kids. I swear to God. Actually, I'm just jealous because the only world record me and my dad set would be most consecutive times forgetting your son's birthday.
Oh, Donnie.
Oh. And spoiler alert, Christy, here's another record. Most times your dad's opened up a using your name without your consent.
Oh, my gosh.
Anyways, let's face it. This dude, David Rush, yeah, he sets a lot of records, but it ain't like they're hard records to set. You know? Let's see him beat one of Evil Knievel's records.
That's true.
Because Evil Knievel was the original American badass, way before Kid Rock and Mike Tyson or Dick the Bruiser.
Yeah.
I mean, sure, David Rush holds a bunch of records, but let's see him set the record for most broken bones that were already broke. I swear to God. Oh, because Evil Knievel broke all his bones. You can look it up. He broke all his bones twice. Even his rib bones were broken. That ain't even figuring in all the damage his liver took over the years.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I can imagine.
Did you guys ever see his diamond-studded walking stick with the hidden liquor compartment?
Sure, that's famous.
And whenever I see him walking with that stick, it always reminded me of my Uncle Junebug used to hide his weed in his prophetic leg when he got stopped by the cops.
Oh, prophetic leg.
I swear to God.
Huh.
Yeah, he'd get off scotch-free every time.
Yep.
And You guys know I met Evel Knievel in person before, right?
You
I wasn't aware.
No.
That's cool.
I got to meet him when I was like 10 years old at the state fair.
Cool. Wow.
And I remember I was waiting in line to go to the party crapper.
Yeah.
Oh, I swear to God. Evel walked right up to me. He's like, "Hey, kid, hold my cane. I got a puke."
Oh.
And I still got that same pair of boots I was wearing when I met him.
Oh, isn't that? Puke still on him. Huh?
Hey, the fact remains, only 2 Americans wore capes that weren't cartoons back in: Evel Knievel and Elvis.
Yeah, that's true.
And the sad part was Elvis got so fat he could have turned his around and used it as a bib in the summer. But I still own them boots, and I met Evel. I'm going to pass them down to my son Woofy.
Oh, he can't wait, I'm sure.
Oh, Christy, I should get him a praise, but after watching Rick on Pawn Stars over the years, I'm scared to death he'd fly in some expert and lowball me right to my face.
Yeah, he probably would.
I know they're worth a lot, too, because if you look real close, you can still see some of his throw-up wedged into the lace.
Ah, lovely.
There's more than enough to harvest the DNA out of it.
Great.
It's just amazing. Dude could jump off ramps, leap over 8 school buses in a single bound, but didn't have enough strength to even projectile vomit that. It just trickled out.
All right.
Yeah, we got it. Yeah.
Remember when Uncle Junior seen Michael Palomisi screw up the hit on Tony? And it's just like that, Just hacked it up into a hanky. They say to never meet your heroes, but I'm basically proof that sometimes it works out.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, thanks, Donnie.
I gotta go.
Okay, all right.
Do you remember the first famous person you met as a kid? I mean, a teenager, maybe?
I didn't know they were famous.
Oh, really? Oh.
Well, your dad made you go meet somebody.
Yeah, my dad made me meet Horace McMahon.
And I know what you're saying.
Who's Horace McMahon?
Yes, the answer is yes.
He was
What was the name of that show?
TV detective.
Oh.
On some series, I don't know. It was like I was a really little kid, and we were at Sardi's, I think, in New York City.
Of course, where you take your little child.
Sure.
Yes.
Yeah, they didn't have a Chuck E. Cheese then. They just...
Willie, who was the first really famous person you met?
The first famous person that I knew was famous, I mean, I met Peter Frampton in the studio, but I wasn't aware of his work.
Right.
So that kind of became cool later in life.
Yeah.
I think the first person that I was like really... Gabriel Iglesias. I remember meeting him, and then I got the bobblehead of him. And now he's obviously like huge, very famous. But back then he wasn't like very well known. But I remember being like, well, I got a bobblehead, so he must be super famous.
Yeah, but I'll tell you what, Gabriel Iglesias, so nice to you.
Unbelievable.
Yes.
He is the nicest guy in show business.
He's
the nicest guy.
Exceedingly kind.
Very humble and a cool guy. Yeah, no, I met Horace McMahon at the bar at Sardi's East.
The Naked City he was in.
You guys, I recognized it.
Yeah, I did too from some old...
from an old movie or something.
And I remember he was smoking filterless cigarettes. I was like 5 or
Drinking a dark brown liquid.
Okay, but who was the first famous person you met that you wanted to meet?
I met Bill Freehan, the catcher for the Titans.
As a kid, that would have been so exciting.
Oh, yeah. I met Bob Feller.
Okay.
The great Cleveland Indian.
I think the most exciting one for me is one time I met Reggie Miller in studio when I was a kid, and I couldn't stop. I freaked out.
Yeah.
I lost my mind.
I bet.
You met Peyton Manning?
Yeah.
You've met some amazing people, but...
Yeah. But your question is a good one. The first one, but like I didn't know, I wouldn't have known Horace McMahon from Adam. He could walk in here now, which would be quite a trick since he's been dead since I was in high school.
Well, and as a kid, I never thought I'd meet anybody famous, and then I started working in country music and got to meet Eddie Rabbitt when I was 16, and I'll never forget it.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I mean, it was amazing.
I'll tell you, I met he was such a nice guy.
He was such a nice guy.
Bunny listens to the show.
I know she
fan
does.
Mail from Bunny.
And I love your
her dad was a great guy.
He was so good to us.
Josh, first famous person you met?
It would have to have been a St. Louis Cardinal or something, I'm sure. I don't remember.
Really?
Yeah.
Chick McGee?
I was trying to think. I don't know. I really don't. I mean, Theismann, that was in the early 90s. So
really?
Yeah.
But nobody as a kid or a teen?
You were a little kid? Nobody?
I met a couple of wrestlers.
Okay.
But
I met Bobo Brazil.
Yeah, I know.
Man, I'd love to have met Bobo.
That was so cool. The Cocoa Bop, of course. Ace Cosby, you know lots of know more famous people than any of us.
As a child in L.A., I met famous Amos at a park.
Oh, really?
He was handing out his cookies.
Oh, that's awesome.
That is cool.
Oh,
Man, he makes a good cookie.
That's an interesting story.
Now, Pat Godwin, everybody brace yourself.
Yeah.
I don't know who it's going to be, but I bet it's going to be weird.
I worked as an intern for Kenley Players. First week was Vincent Price.
Oh, God.
Oh, my God.
I drove Paul Lind around.
Man.
Paul Lind?
Henry Winkler. It's Paul Lind.
Is that where you were done your
Let me tell you
impression?
something. When I was a kid growing up in Central Ohio, when the Kenley Players would come into town, I begged my mom to go see. And it never happened.
That was one of those summer theaters, and they would have
Yes, sir.
every famous television actor would show
Veterans
up.
Memorial
in their plays.
Auditorium.
I had never heard of him until Pat.
Is it? I'm sorry. Is it?
No, but there's regional theaters like that all over the country.
Oh, so is it
and all
Ohio-based?
these television stars would show up.
It's based out of Warren, Ohio.
It's what they would do off.
Yeah, they would usually come up. They would do very famous plays, but it would be the star of some sitcom would be in.
And what, I'm sorry, was it Kenley?
Kenley Players, yeah.
Okay.
Kenley.
It'd be like Bob Crane and Judy Carn and Butterfly
exactly.
Supreme.
Oh,
Exactly.
wow.
So you drove around Paul Lind.
Oh, yeah, we had to because he had a DUI the year earlier. So.
He was quite the famous drinker.
Oh, yeah.
If you read about his career in Hollywood Squares, they finally had to get him a limo.
Yeah.
Probably a good
became
idea.
a problem.
I saw Arsenic and Old Lace with Gene Stapleton and
From All in the Family.
Gene Stapleton's a great actor.
The mom from Happy Days.
Oh,
sure.
Yeah, Marion Cunningham.
Yeah.
No.
Well,
that's her name on the show.
Marion Ross?
Marion Ross.
Marion Ross.
Marion Ross.
Okay, now
I think that was a Kenley thing.
coming up, we have
Maybe.
Frank Lloyd Wright in the news.
Yep.
You know who Frank Lloyd Wright is, Willie?
Yeah, Roby House in Chicago, the architect.
There you go. Very good. Very
You know
good.
what their
Form
kids
before
their
function.
kid, they named their kid wrong because two rights don't make it. Never mind.
Boom! Trickster.
Wow. There's something in there. I don't think
I
there's
love that.
something there.
I love that.
Wrongs, two wrongs.
Oh.
We need a vacuum sound effect.
Well, there might be a joke there if you were like in a movie where LeBron James is driving and he goes over there and he goes, LeBron, don't make a right. Is that a joke there? What? Apparently not.
Okay.
Okay, let's come right back. This is the Bob and Tom Show.
More Bob and Tom next. Got a comment? Our email is bobandtom@bobandtom.com.
My mom and I, we've been playing this new game over the holidays. You might want to try it yourself. It's called Joy Whack-A-Mole. What happens? I bring up something that I'm happy about, and then she comes in and slams it down before I can ever feel too good about what's going on.
I see.
Okay,
all right.
I told her, Mom, my friend Amy had her baby. Oh, that's great news, honey. That's not the greatest news for the 600,000 kids in foster care, but if she wants a fresh one, everybody wants one that looks like them. So, Mom, I'm doing a show tonight. Oh, sweetie, I have a joke for you. Listen. A friend of mine, Quinsley, she was in foster care. She was airlifted out of the Sudan in the late 90s. She'd been bearmed and belegged by the Janjaweed, the horseback militia. She'd love to do stand-up, but she can't. And she's just a hoot. She's in a hospice situation. It's really just a matter of time. But the priest comes in and asks her, would you like us to light a candle for you in the chapel? And she says, sassy as you please, teletyping through her eyelids. Well, how many candles you got? Because so many horrible things have happened to her and keep happening. Sweetie, have a good show. What you do is so important.
Of the man breaking the record, I believe his name's Dr. Chris. Well, you catch this, skiing on stilts. You won't believe it. Just click on bobandtom.com. It's the very top video you can watch. And while you're there, check out Pat Godwin and the Black Moods talking about wetting the bed. That's right. A top rock group and Pat Godwin doing a parody song. It's great, and it's right there at bobandtom.com. Check it out today.
I'm Chick McGee with your Bob and Tom Sports Update. The NFL Players Association says 95 players are now known to have tested positive for the virus. That number up from 72 in the union's last report on July 10th. The NFLPA and the NFL reached agreement Monday on COVID-19 testing as rookies begin reporting to training camps. Most veterans come in next week, though some players rehabbing injuries could report this week. Houston Rockets star Russell Westbrook is set to practice with the team for the first time since revealing he tested positive for the virus. Westbrook did not travel with the Rockets on July 9th when they flew to Florida for the NBA's restart. He's a 9-time All-Star. He revealed on social media he had tested positive for the virus on July 14th. He didn't arrive in Florida until Monday. And Mookie Betts and the Los Angeles Dodgers have struck baseball's first big money deal since the pandemic. The 12-year, $365 million contract runs through 2032 and removes the top offensive player from next offseason's free agent class. The deal is baseball's second largest in total dollars, behind the $426.5 million 12-year contract for the Angels outfielder Mike Trout. I'm Chick McGee, and that's your Bob and Tom Sports Update.
Ladies and gentlemen, Bob and Tom.
Did you hear we're running out of coins?
We were just talking about this. Yeah, there's this massive coin shortage. I don't get it.
That's right. There's no nickels no more, dimes, no quarter, not even Showbiz pizza tokens on the black market.
Wow.
Even Glenn Beck backs it up. So, I'm searching for coins all over the place.
Uh-huh.
You know? So worked up over it, I can't even listen to Nickelback regularly.
Bob and Tom in the morning and highlights all day long.
The Bob and Tom Show, weekday mornings at 6 a.m. Eastern on Bob and Tom 24/7.
This is Bob and Tom 24/7, 24/7, 24/7, 24/7.
As a service to our Hispanic friends, the following commercial announcement is brought to you in both English and Spanish.
Hello, I am Juan Popil, famous inventor and president of Juancom Industries.
Hola, me llamo Juan Popil, el presidente de la Juancom Industries.
Due to a minor problem with the Mexican tax laws, I recently spent a considerable amount of time in a Mexican prison.
Prendido recientemente un sumo considerable tiempo en el Casa Grande Mexicano.
Where I had the misfortune of having a particularly amorous cellmate, Jose.
Donde tengo la desgracia de tenido un castel consorte muy un amorza. ¿Cómo se dice? Slammer de Botox. Jose.
This led me to invent the first product designed to prevent unauthorized rear entry.
Este mi salida al inventar el producto primero, Priac al Preventes. No visite el poop shoot.
After installation, unwanted intruders are greeted by an ear-piercing alarm, followed by our patented orifice sentry grinding mechanism.
Desde instalación, intrusos no desideradas instalar por alarma. El slongo da vida.
And now I am pleased to offer this product to you.
Y ahora soy contentos el prometer el producto bien a ustedes.
New from Juanco Industries, it's the Backdoor Buddy, the Sodomigo.
La cosa nueva la Juanco Industries es el Sodomigo.
It was invented in a prison south of the border, where you need some help to keep the bad boys away. Sodomigo's your friend. It protects your rear end, so you won't be surprised by Jose. No way!
With the Sodomigo Backdoor Buddy, you won't have to turn the other cheek.
Con el Sodomigo como el diablo, bastardo entre como el Ned Beatty.
Because we're behind you 100%, keeping away unwanted intruders.
De la entre como el sui. Querido Dios!
Thank you, handsome. 7:45 at Q95. It's the Bob and Tom Show.
Who are you talking to?
That guy was talking, man. He's a handsome guy.
I thought you were
He's got
talking.
a handsome, warm voice.
Thought you were talking to Josh.
Oh.
A quick forecast, Miss Lee.
Yeah, we are going to see some clearing and we have partly cloudy skies this afternoon, high 87. A little bit of fog around right now, 73 degrees.
I'm sorry, 73 degrees. I'm
fumbling.
Isn't that a Ray Charles song? Do the fog around?
Fog around.
Welcome back. Hello. Testing. Sorry, I was on my phone here with my lawyer.
Why?
He's at the law firm of Zeppo and Shemp.
Yeah.
An underrated law firm.
Yes, an underrated law firm.
You mean Zeppo, Shemp, and Oates?
Even better. We could do this all day.
Yeah. I'd much rather go to a lawyer that makes me laugh.
We have, because I am a big Shemp fan and a big Zeppo fan, underrated. Let's see, where was I? We're in the big room. Wait a minute.
What?
I think it's time. Ladies and gentlemen, forget the introductions here in the Bob and Tom Show. We're going to get right at it. Ladies and gentlemen, Ace Cosby is a legend in the world of radio. He's got the voice. They call it the pipes, but he's also got the comedy with the Ace Cosby joke of the day.
You don't like baked beans, but anyway. What color socks do bears wear?
What color socks do bears wear?
I don't know what.
They don't wear socks. They have bare feet.
They don't wear socks.
They have bare feet.
Yeah, they do.
That was fun.
Oh,
that was good.
What's that sign say? No bare feet.
And I did get a windbag about my baked beans.
Yes.
What was that joke again?
Oh, come on,
that was
not
the one that
again.
died.
Yeah, cannibals love to eat baked beans.
Beings, okay. What was the? You get a letter.
And the windbag said it should be manwich.
Okay, yeah.
That's good.
What's the joke? Do the joke that way, then, Josh. I'm not even getting it.
Well, what is a cannibal's favorite canned food? Is that what
cannibals at the grocery store? I saw him in
the canned food aisle.
Food aisle.
He was looking at baked beans.
Baked beans.
He was getting a manwich.
He was looking at the manwich.
Yes, I think we can all sit down and after that discussion
all go to our
agree that
cars.
there may be comedy there. Not at present.
It's great.
Now I want sloppy joes for dinner. Thanks.
I think you're committing one of the biggest sins of stand-up comedians. You don't, if they're not laughing, you don't argue with them and go, yes, it's funny, you should be laughing.
You'll be in your car driving home and you'll get it.
Yeah, no, that's the classic misconception. Anytime the comedian says that.
Pat Godwin and I wrote a show. He was the guy opening for Mike Birbiglia, right?
Oh my gosh! Yeah.
I don't want to mention his name. And this guy was, Mike Birbiglia is so brilliant, and this guy opening for him, let's just say, wasn't.
Okay, all right.
And he kept going. These jokes kill in New York.
And he's from northern Indiana.
Yeah, it was pathetic. You don't argue. Chick's right.
His name was Greg Warren.
Oh, no.
How did I know? Of course it was Warren.
Oh, is Greg Warren coming in today?
Oh, come on. What a jerk.
Wait, he's the nicest guy in.
I wish he was coming in today, but he's not.
You guys were talking about fresh air masks and different designs. And
Yes.
well, they have the blow-up doll face fresh air mask.
See, funny, who would ever wear that in public?
I don't. Why would you wear that in public? Yeah.
People would.
Yeah, that's the Christy. Someone will.
Get a load of this, bro. Get a load of this.
I didn't know Spencer's got into the face mask business.
Are you finding when you go online that you're being besieged by ads for face masks?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
You can get your dog's face on one, and who would want that?
I was going to say, I think I know what the Christmas gift from my dad is going to be.
Oh, no.
A face mask, and it's not the picture of my biggest fan. It's just the bottom half of his face, so
That's
looks
gotta
like we
happen.
are
Oh, that
him.
does have to
Why
happen.
wouldn't you just tell me that quietly? So
Yeah, exactly.
Now we
Because it's so obvious. It's a hack. It's a hack gift. If you do that, you're
It's a hack gift every year.
Yes.
It's not going to change. Okay.
Man, we're live.
I'm giving
for
you guys all
family.
COVID for Christmas.
We were talking about the first famous person we'd ever met.
Yes.
And I got this. This is great. This comes to us from Andrew. The first famous person I met was Alf.
No way.
How'd you meet Alf?
At the local Walmart, I got a Polaroid taken with him and an autograph.
What's his name? Like John Fusco or something? Isn't that his name?
Was he the producer or something?
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Isn't that nice? And now we'll find out if you have someone super famous you met when you were like really. It's more fun when you're really little and you don't know who they are.
Well, yeah, and even if they're not super famous, it's just cool to.
I didn't meet this person, but I wrote Benny Hill a letter when I was 5 or 6.
Benny Hill?
Yes, and he sent me back a signed autograph.
Oh,
and I have it. I
nice.
still have it in my office.
Does it say Josh or just his name?
It says Josh.
Wow.
Yes. Yeah.
So I was lucky enough to be at a sound check with Paul McCartney. So Paul McCartney's band, they're on stage.
He was
and,
in Wings, right?
Don't ruin the story.
Lucky enough, or you paid the $800?
Which is it?
There's a little more than that,
And
but
a
go ahead.
went to the grand for
No.
T-shirt.
800 only gets you halfway in.
I was going to say.
So McCartney's out there with his band, and they're I don't know, it's like 3 hours before showtime, and they really are doing a sound check, and it's the coolest thing on earth.
I
One
bet,
of the greats of all time up there with he's talking to the crowd, having a great time, and there are maybe 200 people in there.
Mm-hmm.
And at one point, Paul shields his eyes and looks out in the crowd, and he sees this little kid dressed up like Paul McCartney in the cover of Sgt. Pepper's.
Yeah, that weird suit.
And he says, he says, stand up, I want to see it. Oh, that's so great. And then he goes, you have no idea who I am. One of these days they'll tell you. What a cool thing to do.
Yeah, that is cool.
I have kind of a cool one. We went to a Roger Waters concert, and me and my friend Hayden, we painted our faces with the Pink Floyd album with the prism going through.
Right.
And then Roger Waters pointed at us in the crowd and goes, "You guys, nice!" and gave us a thumbs up.
Oh, that is cool. Yeah, that's awesome.
That was, and by the way, if you ever get a chance to see Mr. Waters, the best sound of any concert I have ever heard. I don't know how they pulled it off. It was an outdoor shed venue.
Wow.
I remember looking up and listening and going, okay, I can hear each of the individual background singers singing at the same time in perfect. He takes out the biggest electronics and the greatest sound.
See, when I saw Roger Waters, he looked at me and gave me a thumbs down. I shouldn't have been wearing my Gilmore mask, I guess.
Dad, do you remember this one when we went to go see Motley Crue and I painted my face again, and then there were two women next to us painted their breasts?
Oh, God.
Yeah. And then me and my friend Eric didn't watch a second of the show. Fixated.
Yeah.
Well, there's the top. No, the first brush you saw.
No, that's
No, let's not go that.
Yeah, that's probably
be your. Actually, you know something?
What?
Now that you mention that coming up in the news, we have a kind of a breast thing happening. It's all positive.
All right.
Christy, don't look at me like that. It's all good.
Okay.
But first, are we done with sports?
Yes, sir.
Okay. We'll trade the broadcast baton over to Christy Lee at the Navy Federal Credit Union news desk.
A shortage of aluminum cans means beer drinkers are likely to find that some of their favorite brews are out of stock.
Aluminium.
The supply problem prompting brewers like Molson Coors to cut back on the number of brands they sell. Molson Coors spokesman Adam Collins told CNN Business, quote, everyone who makes anything that goes into a 12-ounce can is being challenged at this point. I don't understand why there's a can shortage. Are people hoarding those too? I mean...
I don't know. This is rough.
Well,
first, there was no toilet paper to wipe your can.
They have to find those cans, and then they dig them up, and then they got to clean them.
Oh, in the great aluminum mines?
Yeah,
Are people not recycling aluminum? I don't know.
Topeka.
Is the toilet paper thing over?
Yes. I mean, every time I've gone to the store.
Paper towel thing's still kind of out.
Paper towels are harder to find.
I was just going to say, one of my sons last night said to me, he went to Costco and they were out of paper towels.
Paper towels makes more sense.
Yeah.
Toilet paper didn't really make any sense.
Right.
But do you still have a garage full of them?
No, I
never hoarded.
I didn't hoard either.
No.
So
if you need any, I got a garage full of them. Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
Of course
coming up.
You're the hoarders they were telling us about.
Coming up, by the way, and I've never had one of these, but in the news, Josh, you sitting down?
Yes. Let's see here. What do you think it's going to be, guys? A new
food item,
loaded French fry recipe, or some
self-abuse
sort of
item,
some sort of pizza fleshlight.
Yeah.
I think that's it.
Pizza
the pizza fleshlight.
Now, if it's not, I'm going to be disappointed.
That's probably shouldn't even do the story.
Where's my honey? Where's my pizza fleshlight?
Now, Willie, write this down. That will be the Christmas gift this year. The pizza fleshlight with my picture on it.
Oh boy!
Coming up, it's something we'll just surprise you with it. It's up next. This is the Bob and Tom Show.
This is the Bob and Tom Show. Tell us what you think. Call 888-BOB-TOM-1. More of the Bob and Tom Show next.
Born it sunshine.
Bob and Tom 24/7, 24/7, 24/7.
Thanks for joining us on Thursday. Today's July 23rd, 2020. We're socially distancing, and we're here live trying to entertain you, keep you happy, keep you focused on your day at work. Nah, we're trying to distract you. That's what we do best. Right here on Bob and Tom 24/7. More of the show coming up.
Hey, everybody. Christy Lee from the Navy Federal Credit Union News Desk. Senate Republicans and the White House have reached tentative agreement for more testing funds in the next COVID-19 relief package, but deep disagreements over the scope of the $1 trillion in federal aid remain ahead of Thursday's expected rollout. Facing a GOP revolt, Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell is preparing a handful of COVID-19 aid bills instead of a single package. That's the word from a top lawmaker involved in the negotiations. The mayor of Portland, Oregon, was tear-gassed by federal agents late last night as he stood with protesters at a fence guarding a federal courthouse. Mayor Ted Wheeler said it was the first time he'd been tear-gassed and appeared slightly dazed and coughed as he put on a pair of goggles someone handed him. Earlier in the night, Wheeler was jeered as he tried to rally demonstrators who've clashed nightly with federal agents sent in by the president to quell ongoing unrest in that city. Would you feel safer about flying during the pandemic if you could be sure that no one flying with you had a fever? Well, Southwest Airlines is betting you would, so it's rolling out a new program to check passengers for signs of infection. The airline will test thermal cameras beginning next month at Love Field in Dallas. The trial could run up to 3 months as Southwest checks for accuracy and considers which temperature checks will slow the boarding process. The airline says readings captured by the thermal cameras won't be linked to individual travelers. And that's your news. I'm Christy Lee. More of the Bob and Tom show's on the way.
Ladies and gentlemen, Bob and Tom.
Disney World visitors no longer will be able to eat or drink while walking, according to the theme park's updated face mask policy. Since the park reopened July 11th, visitors have been required to wear a face mask at all times, except while eating or swimming.
You don't want to get the virus.
Visitors now must be stationary while eating or drinking and must maintain appropriate social distancing.
Pluto's on a ventilator.
Bob and Tom in the morning and highlights all day long.
The Bob and Tom Show, weekday mornings at 6 a.m. Eastern on Bob and Tom 24/7.
Bob and Tom 24/7. Not on air, online, all the time.
Bob and Tom 24/7.
1, 2, 3.
She's got tattoos around her Harley Davidson in the den. She's got an open door for the Marine Corps. She's looking for a few good men. She walks out to her mailbox in her see-through pink tube top. If it wasn't for her biker friend, somebody would have called the cops. And she's a trailer park woman. She's a mobile home princess. She's the queen of manufactured housing. She's a trailer park woman. She's a mobile home princess. And me, I'm the trailer park king. She spends her nights in a strip joint, doing some exotic dance. In an out-of-date pair of platform shoes and worn-out spandex pants. Her kids still live with her mother and her brother who's unemployed. She always calls me Elvis, but she knows my real name's Floyd. She's a trailer park woman. She's a mobile home princess. She's the queen of manufactured housing. She's a trailer park woman. She's a mobile home princess. And me, I'm the trailer park king. She's got a bad reputation. She's the talk of the neighborhood. Maybe her place ain't Graceland, but the furniture's just as good. I often look through her window when she's getting dressed inside. She don't mind, she looks up to me, 'cause I own a double wide. Got a concrete block foundation, she admires it so. She always comes a-knocking whenever there's a tornado. And she's a trailer park woman. She's a mobile home princess. And me, I'm the trailer.
I said 8:01 at Q95. It's the Bob and Tom Show.
It's unbelievable.
Sorry.
Okay. Let's see now. The lady in red is Christy Lee. She's got a quick forecast.
Q95, Fox 59 weather. We'll see some sunshine later, I promise. High 87, partly cloudy tomorrow, 85, currently 73 degrees.
What would be cooler than hopping in a Jeep, popping the doors off, popping the top off, and going for a drive. Nothing.
Yeah.
That's why Christy Lee's going to tell us about Jeeps.
Right, and if you're not getting your new Chrysler, Jeep, Dodge, or Ram at Westgate, you're not getting your best deal, especially during the Beat It or Cash It event. If Westgate can't beat the new vehicle deal you'll get at any local Chrysler, Jeep, Dodge, Ram dealer, they'll pay you $2,500. That includes other dealers' 2020 summer clearance event offers. Yep, and if you've got a car to sell, Westgate really needs them. We'll overpay you for your used car, even if you don't buy one of ours. There's no reason to wait. Come to Westgate. You're going to get the best 2020 summer clearance event deal or bring home $2,500. See for yourself. Don't miss it. The Beat It or Cash It event at Westgate off Highway 40 next to Coles in Plainfield and online always at westgateauto.com.
She almost said Westgate.
Westgate.
Westgate. Woo! Welcome back. It's the Bob and Tom Show. It's the big room. Let's see now. Ace Cosby, our engineer. Chick McGee, who engineers sports in a way.
That's right.
In a way like no other.
Yeah, that's a nice way to put it.
Thank you.
It's damning with faint praise.
Right.
Let's see. There's Josh Arnold. I can tell he's got his name tag on. Josh, of course, at the IHateStevensinger.com sidekick chair.
Yes.
Don't forget, now's the perfect time for no reason at all to go to IHateStevensinger.com and grab yourself some jewelry for somebody.
Exactly.
Or try going to IHateStevensinger.com. I think I stumbled through that one. Willie G is over there.
Hey, slow down.
You're not taking a break, Willie, after hitting that home run?
Oh, man.
Oh, I tell you what. We have Patty G, speaking of home runs, over there in the other room. And we're all socially distanced, et cetera, as required by law. We have found Christy.
Yo, where was I lost?
With some news. And what have you got over there?
Cheez-Its has released a combination box of crackers and wine. The combo pack features a 3-liter box of Original House Wines Rosé, and it comes with about 20 servings of Cheez-It white cheddar crackers.
Which ones are Cheez-Its? I don't think I've had
I
these.
love Cheez-Its.
Tiny little squares.
Yes.
Delicious.
Delicious.
Just delicious.
By far the best.
Crispy.
Oh,
I agree.
It's my snack go-to.
They're the most
my favorite.
cheesiest, yeah.
They're the most cheesiest, so that makes sense now.
The special box goes on sale today ahead of National Wine and Cheese Day this Saturday.
Oh, how about that?
And can be purchased at originalhousewine.com.
Okay.
So it's Cheez-Its and wine.
Yes.
So there's no actual cheese involved.
There is Cheez-Its are made with real cheese.
Okay, so okay. So it's,
But right, no, there's no sliced cheese.
No,
on the crackers.
it's not really elegant.
It's not cheese.
No, it's not considered elegant.
It's
No.
part
Well,
of
if
their,
you're drinking wine out of a box, I mean, that's not exactly elegance, is it?
Yeah, but don't you like the box wine?
Good
Christy?
morning.
I do not.
How's the view up there on your pedestal?
Hey, I'm sorry. I'm not a box wine.
The how to not get in Christie's pants collection.
Yes.
It's Cheez-Its
Hey,
honey, I got
and plastic cups of wine.
Got a big box of wine for us tonight.
You're wrong. I will drink a good wine out of a plastic cup, and I will eat Cheez-Its any day. It's my
Okay.
favorite.
Yeah, they are great.
All right.
In fact, I bought you some. Remember, there was a
Yes, you
Cheez-It
did.
shortage there.
There
for
was
second.
a
I found
Cheez-It
some and shared the wealth.
So did Ace. Thank you very
Yes.
much.
So something might be a nice evening with your friends, and what is it called? The Zoom cocktail party.
Yeah, I had one of those
Everyone gets
Tuesday
on
night.
TV, get the
Oh, you
plastic
did?
glass of wine.
Yeah.
Really?
All you and your friends?
Yes.
On Zoom.
We have a
drinking.
Tuesday night cocktail hour.
How many people in the Zoom?
There are 3 couples and 1 single guy.
You can revisit it all at cluckinghens.com.
There are men involved, you tool.
Oh, boy.
Yammer, yammer.
Oh, it's Karen, and Karen.
No.
Pick a little, talk a little, pick a little, talk a little.
Pick a little more.
So you guys aren't doing a Zoom happy hour at all? Anybody?
No.
I've got masturbating to do.
He's got that new pizza flashlight.
All right, now. Someone asked on the show who the most famous person you met when you were a kid was?
Yeah.
I did, yeah.
I'm sorry, the first famous person.
The first one.
Yeah, we're getting some pretty good ones.
I mean, we've obviously met some really famous people having the job that we
Yes,
have.
and we certainly have friends who are very famous.
No, I didn't.
That doesn't even preclude.
But I mean when you're...
Well, you know what I mean, but when you meet that very first famous person, it's...
Yeah, especially when you have no idea who they are.
I'm
Right.
waiting for someone to say, I met Chick at a Lowe's.
There you go.
Yeah.
He was rude to me.
How many people have that story?
Yeah, now we're getting real.
Actually, the one guy who's in radio, he's a great friend of mine, Brad. He met me when he was like 13 or 14 at the Lowe's, and he stunned me. He goes, "You really encouraged me, and you were really nice." I went, you didn't meet me.
Wow.
He insists he did.
Must have only been 4 drinks in.
He walked away and said, "Thanks, Mr. Dees."
That's exactly right. Yes, sir.
Here we go. This is a pretty good one. Colleen writes, the first famous person I met was Muhammad Ali.
Oh, wow.
Good Lord.
His grandson was playing baseball against my brother's team. He signed autographs, took pictures of the people, and people respected him and didn't hound him. It was awesome.
Oh, yeah, little Kenny Ali. He was quite the center fielder.
Was he?
Yeah.
It's an odd name, Kenny. Kenneth.
That's why I thought Kenny going along with Ali would be kind of funny.
Yeah, you were wrong. Okay.
I've been wrong before. I'll be wrong again.
I chuckled a little bit.
I liked it.
Okay, let's see. Who else have we got over here? Oh, here's another good one. I met Reba McEntire.
I've always loved her.
Me too. Sweet.
I was at a truck stop just outside of Nashville. She was sitting beside me, no makeup, sunglasses on, but she was super nice.
What?
Well, that's nice.
Making money.
Sun in those cans.
She got up. She got up and left. And when I got up to leave, she'd paid the cashier for my lunch.
Oh, how cool!
How cool is that?
Sweet lady.
Someone's lonely.
One of
Someone sounds desperate.
worst sitcoms in history.
No doubt.
Entirely unwatchable, isn't
Really?
it? Yeah, unfortunately. Yeah.
Next to.
I don't like not liking it. I wish I did.
Yeah,
It's just,
because she is sweet.
yeah, she is.
Okay. Well, now we must go back to the Navy Federal Credit Union newsroom. Christy, there was an interesting story about a young poet.
Oh, yeah.
And by young, I mean really young.
4.
A 4-year-old.
Wow.
And
He's landed a book deal, Josh, for his poetry.
how's your book coming, Josh?
Well, it's a work in progress yet. I have to.
Nadim Shama Sorgan was discovered by poet and teacher Kate
You were going to
Clatchy.
say Shama Lama Ding Dong.
His works gained notoriety after Ms. Clancy shared them on social media. The 4-year-old has a deal now with Walker Books, which intends to release his collection as a picture book this summer. It will make him one of the youngest ever writers to land a book deal. Here's an example of his poetry.
All right.
It's called Baddies.
Batty.
Baddies.
Baddies.
Oh, okay.
Baddies.
Gotcha.
Baddies love their baddie friends, even very baddie ones. Policemen might arrest them, but they'll still have their love because nothing can make love disappear, not spells.
Not spells?
Yeah.
So not even spells can make
Like
love
witches
Yeah.
or something?
It was all over the place.
Yeah.
I don't care for it.
I don't care for it either.
mess.
Not one rhyme.
I'm not certain.
They don't have to rhyme. Come on.
No rhyming.
Of course they don't, Tom.
I'm not
That's-
certain that the whole poetry industry isn't just some Ponzi scheme.
I agree,
I
Willie.
think they're all just lying to us. They go, look, we're going to trick these idiots.
That's right.
No, it's like the emperor's new clothes.
There's lots of great poets out there.
There is, and yes, but some poetry you read and you go, that means nothing.
Yeah.
You'll never be able to convince me otherwise.
You mean like Led Zeppelin lyrics?
Some of those, yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, Pat, I see you're stroking your guitar
in my
there.
hands, yeah. I have a side hustle. It's called Set Your Poems to Music.
Oh, really?
Extra cash on the side. I do it in the afternoons primarily. And I got some of this young man's poetry online, and it's not bad. Some of his earlier work when he was like three or four, it rhymes really nicely. Do you want to hear it?
Please. Sure, yeah.
I put it to music, yeah.
It's written by a 3-year-old.
Yeah. My mother drinks Ripple. My baby brother loves her nipples.
Sure, yeah.
If she had one more, the Ripple nipples would be triple. If she had 4, maybe I could have a tipple. I just poop my drawers. Where's Mr. Whipple? Ripple nipple.
Impressive that he knew who Mr. Whipple was.
Yeah.
Nice chord there at the
Yes,
end.
considering
That was cool.
he's been off TV for 30 years.
Yes.
That is a nice
Was he
toilet
the
paper.
Charmin
Said
guy?
Tom.
Yeah.
Tom's upset. It was 30 years ago.
My dad and uncle played blackjack with Mr. Whipple at a casino in Vegas.
See,
You
talking
didn't
about famous
mention that
people.
during famous people.
And we're just hearing about it?
Yeah, they sat down at a blackjack table and Mr. Whipple was there.
He won $250,000. He was a blackjack shark. $250,000.
million.
You have to wonder what, because there are people that are like that are famous for just that one thing, and it's kind of embarrassing, but they're making so much money.
Yeah.
Flo from Progressive is this really good improv and really good actress. But she probably can't go anywhere. I like the one with who's the guy that played the president on 24?
Kiefer Sutherland. Oh no, the president. William Devane.
No, the guy that
Hasbert?
does. Hasbert. What's his first name?
Dennis.
Dennis Haysbert. Yeah.
He does.
Welcome to a conversation with Tom.
Well, no, I'm just
exhausting.
I'm sorry, I'm just trying to think of something interesting. Why don't you go over there and read buy some shoes? The commercial where he acknowledges that he's the guy. It's kind of making fun of itself.
Right.
But it would be I think being Mr. Whipple probably was kind of rough.
That poor Geico Gecko can't go anywhere. With
Gosh, no.
It's a shame.
People want to pick him up.
Yeah, they do. Yeah, he's often manhandled.
But I imagine the money, the Whipple mansion in Beverly Hills probably makes it worth it.
Flo's doing very
well. But I have a technical question.
Dad, I don't know if I want to go after the sports team. Come on, son, you're a Whipple.
Win one for the Whipple. Every once in a while, you'll see a thing where someone will take a picture of someone who's, say, famous for being a spokesman for a certain beer.
Yeah.
And someone will snap a picture of him, and on the table's a different beer, and the morons on Twitter lose their minds. Do you suppose Mr. Whipple had to have a toilet paper guy with him at all times?
To swap out roles wherever he went?
So you can go in now. I put Charmin in there, boss.
Why didn't he want us to squeeze the Charmin?
I don't know.
Made no sense.
The implication was that
it's so soft it was squeezable.
The fans couldn't resist going to the grocery store and just squeezing it.
So it was a problem. So
would you buy a pre-squeeze?
I insist on it. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, if I went to the store and I saw somebody really getting in there squeezing that toilet paper, I'm getting different toilet paper.
Are you?
If they're squeezing, I do that with fruit, like with an avocado. If someone at the store is squeezing it too much, get rid of that.
I did that the other day, and I had to put one back. I picked up a tomato, and I flipped it over, and it was pretty bruised, and I put it back and felt like a criminal in these days. Right. It was like I
thought you were going to say you took it home and wiped with it.
I was like, should I just throw this away? I touched it. Are people going to freak out?
Coming up, we have turtles and bears, which means we'll have to hear a certain song. And you've heard the phrase, take the bull by the horns?
Yeah, sure, yeah.
We have a story that'll make you realize
shouldn't do that.
You don't want to do that. When we come back. This is the Bob and Tom Show.
Thanks for listening to Bob and Tom 24/7.
Hey, we've got a change in the Bob and Tom replay in the afternoons. Used to start at 3 p.m. Now you need to be up 2 hours earlier. If you missed today's show, we'll replay the show at 1 p.m. It's Bob and Tom's all-day replay hosted by Christopher. Starting at 1 p.m. Eastern, we'll replay today's show back to back to back to back right here on Bob and Tom 24/7. Did you get all that?
Hi, everybody. Christy Lee from the Navy Federal Credit Union Entertainment News Desk. Clint Eastwood is taking nearly 24 companies to court because he says they're suggesting he's hawking CBD products. The actor-director has filed a pair of lawsuits against the companies who he says have used his name and image to plug their firms. The suit says the companies have spread phony articles reporting that Eastwood had quit Hollywood to focus on businesses that sell products that include the active ingredient in pot. The lawsuit says not only is Eastwood not involved in the CBD industry, he has never even endorsed it. And those of you following the Johnny Depp libel trial may have thought you'd heard everything about that brawl-filled incident in March 2015 involving the couple in Australia, where his ex-wife Amber Heard accused Depp of domestic abuse, and Depp lost part of his finger in that incident, if you'll recall. Well, there are more details coming out yesterday in testimony. Heard said during the 3-day stay at a rented property, Johnny Depp was completely out of his mind and out of control after abusing drugs and alcohol. She said he threw 30 or so bottles at her as if they were grenades or bombs. If you would like to hear more, the 4th day and expected final day of her testimony is today. And Kim Kardashian West is defending her husband Kanye after he sent out a series of tweets saying he was divorcing her and she was trying to lock him up. Kardashian West writes on Instagram that her husband is bipolar, which makes life incredibly complicated and painful. She understands those who want to comment about him because he's a public figure, but is asking for compassion and empathy as the family works through it. Kanye West has deleted those tweets, by the way. And that's your entertainment news. I'm Christy Lee. More of the Bob and Tom Show coming up.
Hey, this is Larry the Cable Guy, and you're listening to Bob and Tom 24/7. Boy, better get up, get some exercise.
Oh, Lord, I'm on a mission. Listen to my plea. I need the perfect woman to spend her life with me. A sweet and loving woman is all that I'm looking for. Oh, and Lord, it wouldn't hurt if she was really stacked, had a lot of money, laughed at all my jokes, and owned a liquor store. All right, Lord, here's what I need. I made a list. I don't need no fancy lady, prim and propers for someone else. If she won't drink beer from a bottle, Lord, I'd rather drink by myself. She needs a mouth like a trucker. I need a woman who can make some noise. If she didn't have those mammoth hooters, she'd just be one of the boys. I need a woman of the 90s who knows I'm not a sexist jerk. She knows her place is still in the kitchen, and she goes there straight from work. I gotta find me a woman, a downtown, all around, not afraid to get down woman. I gotta find me a woman like I never had. I gotta find me a woman who sweats real bad. I need a natural woman, not one with that big old hair. She's at home watching all the ball games, scratching in her underwear. She gotta be good at poker, gotta bait her own fishing line. I need a woman who's up front with me and still has a great behind. That's all I need, Lord. See, I don't need a filet mignon kind of girl. I need a woman who enjoys a Whopper. I need a woman who'll say those three little words: pull my finger. That's all I need. She doesn't drive no fancy sports car. She's comfortable driving Rex. But most important, Lord, I need a woman who doesn't want to talk to me after sex. I hate that. I gotta find me a woman, a free-thinking, hard-drinking, not afraid to do some stinking woman.
8:19 at Q95. It's the Bob and Tom Show.
Christy Lee has the weather forecast.
Q95 Fox 59 weather brought to you by the CarX Man. We'll see some sunshine later. Look for a high of 87. Clear tonight down to 71. Partly cloudy and 85 on Friday. 74 degrees currently.
Thank you very much. Keep your ears open. You might hear a certain announcement that might suggest you could, in fact, win some serious cash. That will happen.
Oh, yeah?
That'll happen multiple times on Q95 today. So cross your fingers and I hope you get lucky. How about that? Keep listening. That's all I'm going to tell you right now. But it could be happening fairly soon. So a little bit of a hint. Win some serious cash on Q95. It's possible. Just so hang out with us. Welcome back to the Bob and Tom Show. It's great to be here.
How about ya?
Thank you very much. That's Chick McGee. How about you, Wing? Let's see. There's Ace. There's Josh at the IHateStevensinger.com sidekick desk. The room next door is the Navy Federal Credit Union newsroom with Christy Lee. Willie G is in the hot box. Pat Godwin is just around the corner in the other building. And a very studious-looking Al Jackson has joined us from Colorado. You're looking younger, Al. Is it those new glasses?
Oh, yeah. I put the glasses on every once in a while. It kind of helps. The LASIK is wearing off, my friend.
Oh. Al, I feel like you're the smart girl in the movie, and halfway through you're going to take your glasses off, and we're all going to realize how pretty you are. I love it.
You shake your head, your hair falls down, and
Willie, I did like the message that all those 80s movies where the girl kind of, got hot for the guy she just had to change. Ladies, if you want to be better, just look better. It's like, it was this model. All she did was take her braces and her glasses off. It's like, oh, no one could tell she was 6'1".
Super hot.
Now, Al, the question was floating around on the show this morning. The first famous person that you ever met. And in my case, it was I was very young, and it was some actor I'd never heard of. My dad shoved me up to the bar at Sardi's to meet this guy.
Sardi's.
Only Tom.
Wait, who was it?
It was Horace McMahon from the show Naked City, which I had never seen. And when you're a little kid, you think Naked City, cool. There are going to be naked ladies on this.
Just robbers and detectives.
Yeah. So who's the first famous person you met, Al?
This is everybody listening has to remember that there was like famous and then there was local famous.
Sure,
yeah. So I mean, he did play in the NFL, but there was a guy named Gerald the Ice Cube McNeil. He had 1 or 2 kind of big seasons for the Browns. He's a little guy, probably like 5'10", 180 pounds, but he had 2 good seasons returning kicks, and he was getting his hair cut at my barbershop, and I almost passed out.
Wow.
You didn't see famous people. You guys remember there was like seeing a famous person, it was impossible. Now they're everywhere, but like you just didn't see anybody.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
Wow. And who did we determine was your first one, Christy?
Mine was Eddie Rabbit. It was at a country music festival, and
How old were you?
16. I just started working for the radio station. And I was so excited. I can remember the cowboy hat I was wearing. I had on a light blue polo shirt.
Yes.
I remember every aspect of this. Yeah.
All right. Well,
I think that leads to a bigger question. Tom, how far back do your memories go? Have you met people that say that they legitimately remember stuff from when they were 4 or 5?
Oh, my sister can do that. She can put names, dates, places. It's amazing.
I remember I can remember being 4 because I remember seeing E.T. in the theater, and I was 4.
Wow.
Wow.
I only have a handful of memories when I was 4. Essentially 2 of them that I know are actually true, and because I've had them verified by my sister. And one of them, actually, there's a physical object. When I was in before kindergarten, those things where you take a clay thing and make your hand.
Sure.
Push it in.
Plaster of Paris.
Yeah, I still have that. Al, can you name every teacher you had in elementary school?
I can't name one. I can barely name one. I don't remember anything until maybe like the middle of high school. I don't remember anything.
Does it help if you see a picture, though? Does that like jar a memory? Like if you see a picture?
If I saw a picture of any of my middle school or elementary school teachers, I wouldn't know who they were.
How about this? Al? If we could get the essence of the smell of your house, blindfold you, do you think you could take a whiff of that and go, oh, that's the house I grew up in?
I think so.
Because they say, Chick and I were talking about this off the air the other day, that sometimes they say smell trigger memories better than anything.
Oh, they say all the time. That's the case, yeah.
So
I wouldn't know what my house smelled like growing up.
But if that smell all of a sudden wafted in front of you, you would immediately know.
The glue that they used to put the fake paneling on the trailer walls, maybe.
Or maybe the smell of the cigarette smoke from your dad or something like that.
Okay, sure.
Mm-hmm. I don't know. When I hug somebody, my first thought is like, oh, that's what your house smells like.
Yeah?
Yes. Yeah.
Or what fabric softener you use.
That's true.
You know, I'm opposed to fabric softener.
I know you are, but there are people who use it.
Al, I use those big balls you heave into the thing that don't have a scent to them.
Oh,
they work great.
No, they don't.
They're like tennis balls.
Like rubbing crystals on your armpits.
Yeah, it doesn't work.
What's your contention with the dryer sheets? What is it?
The dryer sheets, when you fold your clothes, all of a sudden you feel like you've just dipped your fingers into Italian dressing.
No.
It's awful.
I don't know what happened to you, but that's not the case.
It is the
but
case.
You know what? It's in there, and it's never coming out.
Nope.
He's like that about something.
Somebody told him something about dryer sheets.
No one told me anything.
Met a guy somewhere.
You know, I'm your son, and I can't relate to you.
So I just folded your laundry, and no, I didn't use any dryer sheets.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thanks, Dad.
Al, are you in Denver today?
I am in Denver hanging out. Beautiful day.
And you'll see Al on, of course, the Daily Blast
live
on a TV show near you or on the internet. What's the latest at the station? Are you guys all allowed in there still?
No, look, I think just to avoid everything, we just have kind of a skeleton crew. But at this point, we've been doing it for a couple of months. So it's me, another host, a stage manager, and just one producer in a room for like there are more people in the room with you guys than there are in my studio, which is crazy. Yes, and it's a studio for 69 people.
Whoa.
Nice.
Yeah, well, there are only 4 of us in this. We're kind of spread out. I don't know if you can tell looking at your screen that we're all spread out just to be safe and happy. Now, we have time to do a quick quiz, test my knowledge of what's happening in contemporary culture. And what do we got?
Tom, you did okay last week.
It was not a good performance.
It wasn't great, but you know what, Tom? We have short memories. You know, we're goldfish, not elephants. We forget.
Okay.
And so we're going to keep going, Tom, with this week. Tom, let's talk locations.
All right.
If you were on Front Street, where are you?
On Front Street.
I'm on Front Street.
Boy,
what happened? What just happened to you?
Oh, I have a guess.
Front Street.
What's your guess, Christy?
It just got fired?
No, that's good, though. No, I like that.
Oh, man.
You're lying excessively to someone? You're fronting?
Oh, that's logical.
You used it right, but the definition's wrong. But you used it. That's the way you would say it.
Are you bragging? Is that it? You brag. What? I'm not sure on front.
Could you use the expression?
I heard it.
Fronting is different than Front Street. So fronting is bragging. So yes, that's correct.
Right.
But Front Street, like if Willie put Tom on Front Street, what did Willie just do to Tom?
Oh, is this like being thrown under the bus?
Thrown out of the house?
That's a tangent. Josh, you got one real quick?
He either let him have it, he verbally undressed him, or he called him out for something.
Yeah, just like you kind of like you just verbally attacked them or made fun of them, like in front of like the girls or something. You'd be like, oh, well, at least I had enough money to go to the dance, Tom. Like that's kind of like you just fronted on somebody. Like, why are you saying that right in front of my girl?
Yeah, why you put me on Front Street, man? These girls were
Yeah, okay.
All right. Oh, I get it
nice.
now.
But Chick used it right when he said fronting, because fronting is another thing where it's just like almost like if you think about somebody fronting all the wealth that they have, but there's really nothing behind it, like somebody that wears $1,000 suits but like lives in their car. That's kind of fronting. That's kind of faking it.
Oh, yeah, they have the $17 Rolex from Tijuana.
Yes, the definition of fronting, fake Rolex.
Oh, I like that. So use it in a sentence for me properly, Josh.
Al, Chick, and I went to lunch, and the waitress was pretty cute, and when the bill came, Al looked at her and said, I'll take care of this. Josh, there's no way he could afford this. Oh, man, why you put me on Front Street like that?
That's the definition.
Oh, that's
right
great.
There. Yeah.
That's good. Well, thank you very much. Let's get to our next one, Al Jackson.
Let's go to Fist City if you're going to front me. Oh, never mind. Sorry.
Is that a thing?
Fist City?
Now.
Okay.
It used to be. Okay.
It's a beer in Chicago, Fist City.
Let's move forward, Al. What do you got?
I like this one because it involves your son's name.
Hell yeah.
Big Willie style?
No. But close, and you should be able to get it from that definition. Tom, what's a fraud Willie?
Ooh, a fraud Willie.
A fraud Willie. Yikes. Well, is it the English or the term used in England for slang for the male member?
Like a prosthetic penis?
No, but that's good, but no.
Okay, so it's not the direct. A fraud Willie. Is it a reference to someone who's famous named Willie?
No.
Okay, a fraud Willie. Oh, boy, I'm at a loss. Give me a hint.
It's not good. It would be considered an insult.
Wow, I'm completely. Well, it's not a Willie Nelson reference.
No, but we kind of just talked about it with the last thing we discussed. Okay. What the last thing Chick said.
Yeah, I don't know. I give up. Anybody got anything? Okay, well, tell me what it is, Al.
All right, we talked about fronting. A fraud Willie is somebody that's like, Big Willie style is like you really do have money. That was the name of Will Smith's album. A fraud Willie is somebody that just kind of acts like they're Big Willie, but they're fake and they don't have it.
Gotcha.
Oh, I see.
All right,
Fraud
Willie.
I thought it was a cod piece.
A cod piece.
Oh, that'd be good. You got your fraud. Oh, that would be really good.
You got a fraud Willie.
Yeah, we should make it that. Although you don't really see cod pieces all that often.
No, you don't.
Anybody own one?
I wear one every day on the show just in case they change the camera angle.
Oh, okay. Yeah, smart.
Good to know. Okay, one more, Al. What do we got?
All right, one more time, and you're gonna get this one because we've. I just feel like I kind of set you up for success.
We've gone down this road. Okay, here we go.
You've got this. You know this phrase. Tom, what does it mean to holla back?
Oh.
Oh, is this that holla back girl song?
I ain't no holla back girl.
Holla back at your boy, or something like that.
To return a verbal assault?
Not assault per se.
No.
Help me with it, Josh, please.
My understanding is if you holla back, you are reciprocating the flirting. So
yeah,
let's say I send a girl a drink at a bar, and then she comes over and decides to talk to me. She's kind of holla backing.
Oh, is that correct?
There's two definitions. That one is definitely one of them. Definitely correct. And the other one would just be really simple, like just get back to me. So
holla back.
It could be like, Josh, when you get to the house, man, holla back and let me know if my PlayStation's over there.
Yeah, we'll do, man.
Yeah, I think Gwen Stefani was singing more about the flirting thing. I ain't no hollin' back girl. I ain't no holla back girl.
I never understood that. I think, is that like I'm not a girl that wants guys to yell at me on the street?
I think so.
Yeah, I think.
Yeah.
I honestly thought it was the name of like a British department store.
A hollaback girl?
And they had they had like the hollaback girls. I'm serious.
Instead of Harrods, it's hollaback?
Yeah, right.
Exactly. Right.
The hollaback girls will be making an appearance in store.
I thought, she was attractive, but no, she didn't enter some contest.
How did holler become
Hollerback?
A noun meaning yell? Holler.
Holler?
Or is it a verb? Holler.
Yeah, holler at me.
I always said it because Jimbo, who used to be on the staff, would say it all the time. Give me a holler if you need anything.
Yeah.
Stop hollering.
I think it's because you would yell across the holler to get the attention.
There we go.
Ah.
All right. Well, we got time for something. One more thing, Al. What do you got?
All right, Tom, one more thing, and you got this. Tom, use the word youngin' in a sentence.
Oh, well, I watched the Beverly Hillbillies as a kid.
Yes.
Yeah.
Not sure how that works in here, but go ahead.
We got the cement pond already, and Ellie Mae's bringing some youngins over to have a nice afternoon.
There you go.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that's it.
Is that? Did I get it?
Yeah.
Technically, youngins are usually referred to as a young lady. So I told youngin to hit me back after I'm done. After I'm done at work, so
right.
I'm waiting here from youngin. Look at those youngins over there.
Prince Andrew.
I think.
There you go. I want to wish him well. Wish him well. Hope he does well. Yeah.
Well, before we go, Al, who's the most famous person that you met when you were a kid that we would have heard of?
The most famous person.
Did you ever meet? Now you grew up in Cleveland and Beechwood. Did you ever meet a
Reggie Rucker?
Another like Jim Brown, one of the great alums from the Browns, or Bob Feller?
When was the first time I met a real?
It's hard to think, isn't it?
Yeah, it is hard. Yeah.
Do you have? Let me ask this.
After a while, it kind of blend. There used to be a huge divide between famous people and not, but now because of YouTubers, like somebody can be famous and be sitting right next to you at a cafe.
Yeah.
I would say the first famous person I ever had like a long dialogue with was I met Bernie Kosar.
Oh wow!
Quarterback on a plane. This is back when U.S. Airways was an airline, and I flew so much with them I was platinum, so I was always in first class. And Bernie Kosar sat next to me, and we talked for I don't know, maybe 2.5 hours. It was one of the greatest days of my life because I was like all my uncles. I fulfilled all their dreams.
Yeah, that's great. Wow.
Yeah, I sat next to Bernie in first class. He was really cool, but that's how long ago it was when U.S. Airways was around.
Good quarterback and really bright guy, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, the sidearm delivery. Shout out to Bernie. 86 Browns, baby.
Shout out to Ted Abernathy. That'll be the most obscure reference of the day.
A baseball pitcher.
I only did that because in case our good friend Mark Patrick's listening, he'll email me later today and go, wow, you got Ted Abernathy in the show today? Since today's the first day of baseball. Thank you, Al Jackson, one of my favorite human beings.
Love you guys.
We love you, Al. You're the best. Watch him on the Daily Blast Live. Now, Ace, are you raising your hand?
Oh, he was waving to Allie.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I thought perhaps there was a potential sequel to today's joke of the day. If we're going to be getting the double dose.
Let's just move along.
The 2 for Thursday.
Am I the only one that would love to hear another joke of the day?
I wouldn't mind.
He's got 45.
Is there anything in the quiver, Ace?
I got 45.
Well, then, without any further ado, ladies and gentlemen, you may say that wasn't really a joke. No. These are cultural observations with our host, Ace Cosby.
When you're in the grocery, when you're checking out, they always ask you paper or plastic.
Sure.
You ever wonder why they ask you that?
Why?
Because baggers can't be choosers.
See, to me, that's like a sculpture carved out of a giant piece of granite.
Yep.
It was there all the time, and he uncovered it.
There we go.
That was a good one.
I've never thought of that, and it's been there forever.
It's wonderful.
Baggers can't be choosers.
I don't want to be the next person who checks you out at the grocery store. Hey, you know what? You're baggers can't be choosers. And I'll just stare at you.
Yeah, well, I've heard that before. All day today.
Move it along.
Can I see your feet?
You didn't say it right.
Want to see my feet? Sorry, can't even do my own line.
That's okay.
Okay, Christy, you
What?
you ever get out the lotion and maybe spend
Where's this going?
some time on a friend of yours' feet?
What is wrong with you?
You know I don't like
He
feet.
does not care for feet.
I'm not a feet person.
And I've got very nice feet, and she wouldn't let me cup her face with them one morning.
Oh, no.
It was in here.
We talked about it in here. Yeah.
I don't want to talk to the lady at HR again today. Let's just leave it right there. Coming up, we have butter, turtles, bears,
butter,
Frank
bulls.
Lloyd Wright. Oh, and have you heard about this buried treasure?
Yes.
This is real.
This is becoming a thing now.
There's a
One
real
guy
buried
did it.
treasure out there, a bunch of stuff, and
Yeah.
it's actually happening. We'll tell you about it next. This is the Bob and Tom Show.
This is the Bob and Tom Show. Chime in with an email. Send to Bob and Tom at bobandtom.com. More of the Bob and Tom Show next.
Hey, it's Roy Wood Jr. You're listening to Bob and Tom 24/7. Bob and Tom, all the time, in your ear.
In your ear, that's right. Head on over to Bob and Tom's YouTube channel. Hit that red button and subscribe now. It's no cost. The Bob and Tom Show YouTube channel. You can be watching Bob and Tom tonight, Monday through Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific. Plus, you get access to the YouTube Bob and Tom archives and the highlights. Over 100,000 Bob and Tom fans have already clicked that red button to subscribe. We're looking to double that, and you can help. Head on over there today and subscribe. It's free. You were listening to Bob and Tom 24/7.
I'm Chick McGee with your Bob and Tom Sports Update. The NFL Players Association says 95 players are now known to have tested positive for the virus. That number up from 72 in the union's last report on July 10th. The NFLPA and the NFL reached agreement Monday on COVID-19 testing as rookies begin reporting to training camps. Most veterans come in next week, though some players rehabbing injuries could report this week. Houston Rockets star Russell Westbrook is set to practice with the team for the first time since revealing he tested positive for the virus. Westbrook did not travel with the Rockets on July 9th when they flew to Florida for the NBA's restart. He's a 9-time All-Star. He revealed on social media he had tested positive for the virus on July 14th. He didn't arrive in Florida until Monday. And Mookie Betts and the Los Angeles Dodgers have struck baseball's first big money deal since the pandemic. The 12-year, $365 million contract runs through 2032 and removes the top offensive player from next offseason's free agent class. The deal is baseball's second largest in total dollars, behind the $426.5 million 12-year contract for the Angels outfielder Mike Trout. I'm Chick McGee, and that's your Bob and Tom Sports Update.
Ladies and gentlemen, Bob and Tom.
You realize when Josh is on the road, people are going to ask him to play this song during his shows.
Willie, I've quit the road.
There's no road. Give it up for Josh Arnold.
I'm so bad.
You can start waving
keep that
as you
applause
take the
going as he
stage.
slowly makes his way to the stage. Whoops, there are stairs. Just keep clapping, please. We had to tell him this was Golden Corral to get him here.
Bob and Tom in the morning and highlights all day long.
The Bob and Tom Show, weekday mornings at 6 a.m. Eastern on Bob and Tom 24/7.
Hey, guy, it's Kid Tarmac. You're listening to Bob and Tom 24/7. Take that to the bank. 24/7. I know.
You know, here in Paris and everywhere I go today, people are talking about the latest development in personal hygiene.
What is that?
The coffee enema. And for those of us who practice the alternative lifestyle, there's only one brand of coffee enema. It's called La Cage aux Folgers. Bonjour. I am Maurice Chevalier's. And when I need a good cleaning out or just need to freshen up for a date, I choose La Cage aux Folgers. And after a quick coffee break, voila! I feel spanking new. So wake up and smell the coffee. No, do not actually smell it, P.U. Be part of the movement sweeping the continent. La Cage aux Folgers. Because when you're pooped, nothing perks you up like a coffee enema. I'd like to sing for you now. I'm a gentleman who lives in gay Paris. I like to stay as fresh as I can be. But when I need a little pick-me-up, I don't take my coffee from the coffee cup. Hit it, girls.
Say ooh la la. It's a coffee enema. The finest coffee beyond compare. And it goes in your derrière. Ooh la la la. Ooh la la la. Ooh la la la. Ooh la la la. Le Cage aux Folgers for the man who likes his coffee in the can.
La Cage aux Folgers. When it comes to taste, perhaps your tongue cannot tell the difference, but your can can.
La Cage aux Folgers, say ooh la la. It's a coffee and...
Hi there, 844 at Q95. It's the Bob and Tom Show. Let's check with Christy and see what the weather forecast is.
Q95 Fox 59 weather brought to you by CarX. We'll see some sunshine later today with a high of 87. Clear skies tonight down to 71. Partly cloudy and 85 on Friday. Currently we have 74 degrees.
If you were listening carefully, you might have heard something rather interesting moments ago.
You chewing?
I am not chewing.
You ever see somebody so unprofessional to eat while we're on the air? My God.
Yeah, I've been watching you do it for years.
What are you talking about?
I mean, Christy, what do they even teach in week one of radio school?
Yeah,
I'm not chewing. I perhaps was chewing a few seconds ago. No need to dwell on it. The point is that there's cash at stake throughout the day here on Q95, so pay close attention, be listening. You could be a big winner of $1,000, so hang out and pay attention. Welcome back to the Bob and Tom Show. Once again in the big room, Ace, Chick. I'm Tom. That is Josh. Josh, of course, at the IHateStevenSinger.com sidekick chair.
Hi.
He's in it. He's in the chair.
Yeah.
Willie G's in the hot box over there.
Hey.
Christy Lee's in the Navy Federal Credit Union newsroom all by herself.
Yep.
Then around the corner, Pat Godwin's sitting there with a guitar and a keyboard, getting ready to launch into something. Thank you very much. But right now we turn it back to Christy Lee at the news desk. What else is happening over there?
If you're on social media, you probably have already heard about this. There's a guy in Michigan, a retiring jeweler, who has buried $1 million worth of treasure, and he's encouraging people to go out and find it. John Perry, who owns J&M Jewelers in Washington Township, had an epiphany where the coronavirus forced him to shut down his business after 23 years, and he said, quote, although I enjoyed being in business for myself, I've discovered that I was never truly happy. So after reading about a man discovering art dealer Forrest Fenn's $1 million treasure chest, Perry decided he wanted to do something similar, so he and his fiancée, Amy, buried the contents of his entire jewelry store throughout Michigan. And they've marked each spot with an X. He's also set up a website that allows treasure hunters to reserve spots for a given quest, but warns that sharing clues online is forbidden. Now, here's the genius part. The registration fee of $59 gives participants access to a private Facebook group related to that specific treasure quest. The first one will start on August 1st, and the treasure, 2 100-ounce silver bars worth around $4,200.
Silver bar.
Okay, so he gets, if let's say he gets 100 people to do this, $5,900. He's already made a profit with
Right.
the $4,200 in silver bars.
Is this legal?
I don't know.
So, but you have to look for an X. So,
right.
I could put an X in my front yard, and this guy would dig me a new septic. Someone looking. So I'm going for it.
What is it? Prize, consideration, chance? Is there a chance here?
Yeah, I don't know how that law works.
Definitely consideration.
How do we know he really buried something?
Yeah, true.
I mean,
oh, there you go. I guess no one's ever found it. Get in the car, honey.
Do you ever watch those treasure shows?
No.
And they never find anything. It drives me crazy. Just one time, find something.
It's why I watch the shows about Bigfoot and ghosts. They actually get real evidence.
Sink your teeth into it.
Yeah, I think they had Bigfoot on one of the shows last night. On was it Fallon or? I don't know.
He was trying to eat something hot. I remember that.
Yeah.
It was illuminating.
I mean, these guys on Oak Island, Josh, how long have they been searching for that treasure? Forever.
Yeah.
Drives me nuts.
Remember there was a cocaine island on Netflix, a documentary about this guy who hid a satchel of cocaine on some island.
A whole satchel?
A whole satchel. Will you do something about your kid? Gee, many Christmas, what a smart mouth he's got.
No, I'm so sorry. That was, I just got...
Did you suppose back in the day that you were traveling with a baseball team and you're in the restaurant and go, hey, could you page Satchel?
You think that happened?
Could you page Satchel? Yeah. I don't think it did.
So, in other words...
Satchel Page, the Satchel Page party. Your table is ready.
This is a Satchel Page?
Page. This is a page for Satchel. Satchel Page.
I don't even think they say page anymore before they say word.
Paging Satchel Page.
Satchel Page is the...
Now,
what?
Remember we met Paige Page?
Who's Paige Page?
Paige Page.
Is Paige Page
Turn the sister?
No, she was.
Was she?
She had the TV show where she was the
Fix the House or something.
Fix the House show.
Oh, yeah.
Is she related to Bruce?
She was one of the very first on HGTV, wasn't she?
But her real name is in fact Paige, because her husband Page, right?
Paige Page.
Okay, I saw Satchel Paige live and in person, by the way. Speaking of famous people you've seen,
that's cool.
Here we go. This comes to us from Sharon.
Hi, Sharon.
Sharon.
I met Loretta Lynn when camping at a dude ranch with my grandparents.
All right.
I want to know everything.
My grandma actually played softball with Loretta Lynn while I played with her twins. I must have been 6 years old.
I'd like to play with Loretta Lynn.
Oh, man, she had a set of twins.
Loretta had a mean fastball.
Okay. Let's see now. Oh, here's one. My husband and I listen to your show. We fill in each other if we miss anything. A few years ago, Ron White was doing a show up the road from the bar we all hang out at, and he walked in. Now, for those of you that know Ron, this is...
He staggered it.
This is not a surprise.
No.
Walk out.
Not at all.
I asked Ron if I could kiss him. He turned around and said, sure. Had to do it twice because my husband missed it the first time.
Oh.
Well.
Now, this is where this gets a little bit odd.
They ended up taking him home.
No.
Ron White cuckolded me.
And my husband was really into it. And,
Jen writes.
Now I know why they call him tater salad.
Oh.
Jen writes, yes, he tastes like strong booze and cigars. It's not just an act. Yes, Jen, we're aware of that.
I have a great Ron White story. When I was a kid here, Ron White came in on a Monday, and he was incredible, funny as all hell, and then Wednesday morning, there was a ring at the doorbell. I went to go to the doorbell, and he's standing there with 2 tiny dogs, scotch and cigar, and he goes, Willie, they canceled in Lansing. Tell your daddy I'm coming on the radio.
And wasn't he wearing pajamas?
Pajama pants with a cigar. It was so cool.
Yeah, he is a great guy and a terrific comedian. When this all gets back up and running, always go see Ron. When I was 10 years old, some of the 69 Cubs came to Rock Island, writes Douglas. My dad had gotten my brother and I new baseballs and a pen for autographs. I went to the first player. It was Ernie Banks.
Wow.
He used my pen but wouldn't give it back.
That sounds like Ernie. I met him, too. I met Ernie Banks.
So that was the only signature he got on his baseball.
Well, you know, Banks, you're not allowed to take the pen.
Okay, very good.
Nice, Josh.
Very good. Should have put it on a chain, right? Okay.
Yeah, if you want to.
He phrases everything this way. Well, he doesn't anymore. But he'd go, I used to play for that team in Chicago. That's right, the Cubs. And everything's a question. Well, I used to hit him on a long ball, home runs. That's right. It wears you out.
Wow. I saw David Ross the morning of the Game 5 World Series.
No kidding.
And then one time I was driving past the ballpark, and Addison Russell got out of his car, and someone parked it for him.
Then what happened?
Nothing. I saw John Lester and the late Brody Stevens 2 days after they won. You know what? Maybe I should just go back to Chicago.
Did you guys fight last night?
What are you?
No, we didn't fight.
No, I want to hear Willie read from his diary a little more.
Dear diary, well, Dad's not ignoring me again.
Okay. Christy Lee is at the Navy Federal Credit Union news desk. What else have you got over there?
A New Hampshire man has been seriously injured after grabbing a bull by the horns, literally.
Idiot.
Josh Jennings, the owner of Meadows Mirth Farm in Brentwood.
I want to go to the Mirth Farm.
Said neighbors told him there were bulls on his property. He said that though the bulls were agitated, he was able to calmly get them off his crops until their owner and police arrived. However, as police were assisting the owner in retrieving the bulls, a man began to approach the animals while ignoring warnings from police to stay away. The man took one of the bulls by the horns and was gored as a result.
Oh, boy.
He was hospitalized with serious but non-threatening life injuries. Police had to shoot the bulls to avoid further damage. What?
Hey, Willie, you ever see any bulls while you were in Chicago walking around?
Thanks.
Saw Scottie Pippen at a CVS.
Bill Cartwright, nobody knew who he was.
The
right?
Brody Stevens, he's a comic. That's cool.
So they had to shoot him?
I know. I don't understand. I guess they were in
This
the
one
guy's
jackass
shop.
goes up.
I don't. It doesn't
Yeah, that
make
is
sense.
unfortunate. That is unfortunate.
Probably shouldn't have worn that red face mask.
Oh.
That'll get the bulls agitated every time.
Hey, look.
Sure.
Look, I can see why they shot them. I mean, what would you rather do, shoot it or try to handcuff it?
Have you seen any of the recent videos of people in the parks going up to various animals and?
Oh yeah, bison especially right now.
I have no
Hot.
sympathy for any of these people.
Yeah,
Of course not.
I
Did
completely
you
get
see
it.
the couple that were standing there and the bear walked up and sniffed the woman's hair?
Oh, I saw
Yeah, and she
Stood
just
up on
kind of
top,
had to.
sniffed her hair.
Yeah.
She got a selfie with him, and then he went do-de-do-de-do and just
Well,
wandered on.
then he came back and
Yeah.
did it again, and then
Yeah.
This is a wild bear?
Yes.
Yes.
Potter
Yeah.
once. It was
Yes.
terrifying.
And they told her she did the right thing.
They did, yeah.
She remained completely calm.
Right.
Didn't
And just stood
move.
there.
Where was this?
I have the video on my social
somewhere in
media.
Mexico.
Okay, no,
Where was
thank
it, Ace?
Mexico.
Oh,
Wow.
Mexico or New Mexico?
it was in
I
Mexico.
think it was Mexico.
Okay, well, yeah, I'll have to check that out. Coming up, we have a bear,
Yeah, we do.
and I think it's a story you'll like a lot, especially you, Josh.
Okay.
Oh God!
Here we go.
What food item is it?
Bear made out of ice cream.
No, was brought up earlier.
Bear made out of pasta.
We'll find out coming up.
Giant gummy bear. How many gummy bears can he eat?
When we come back, this is the Bob and Tom Show.
This is the Bob and Tom Show, brought to you in part by Navy Federal Credit Union, proudly serving the armed forces, DoD, veterans, and their families. Our members are the mission, insured by NCUA. This is the Bob and Tom Show.
Hello, this is comedian John Evans, and you're listening to Bob and Tom 24/7.
Hey, head on over to bobandtomstore.com while you can. We are contributing every dollar spent to Feeding America. That's right, every hat, every T-shirt, every sweatshirt, anything at bobandtomstore.com. If you purchase it, all the proceeds, 100%, goes directly to Feeding America. They actually restock food kitchens and pantries around the country. They know where the needs are. They get the food there to help families in need. So if you don't want to buy something at the Bob and Tom store, you can donate to them directly. Feeding America. Buy now and buy often at bobandtomstore.com. Get your dad a hat.
Hey everybody, Christy Lee from the Navy Federal Credit Union News Desk. Senate Republicans and the White House have reached tentative agreement for more testing funds in the next COVID-19 relief package, but deep disagreements over the scope of the $1 trillion in federal aid remain ahead of Thursday's expected rollout. Facing a GOP revolt, Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell is preparing a handful of COVID-19 aid bills instead of a single package. That's the word from a top lawmaker involved in the negotiations. The mayor of Portland, Oregon, was tear-gassed by federal agents late last night as he stood with protesters at a fence guarding a federal courthouse. Mayor Ted Wheeler said it was the first time he'd been tear-gassed and appeared slightly dazed and coughed as he put on a pair of goggles someone handed him. Earlier in the night, Wheeler was jeered as he tried to rally demonstrators who've clashed nightly with federal agents sent in by the president to quell ongoing unrest in that city. Would you feel safer about flying during the pandemic if you could be sure that no one flying with you had a fever? Well, Southwest Airlines is betting you would, so it's rolling out a new program to check passengers for signs of infection. The airline will test thermal cameras beginning next month at Love Field in Dallas. The trial could run up to 3 months as Southwest checks for accuracy and considers which temperature checks will slow the boarding process. The airline says readings captured by the thermal cameras won't be linked to individual travelers. And that's your news. I'm Christy Lee. More of the Bob and Tom show's on the way.
Ladies and gentlemen, Bob and Tom.
Did you hear we're running out of coins?
We were just talking about this. Yeah, there's this massive coin shortage. I don't get it.
That's right. There's no nickels no more, dimes, no quarter, not even showbiz pizza tokens on the black market.
Wow.
Even Glenn Beck backs it up. So, I'm searching for coins all over the place. Yeah. So worked up over it, I can't even listen to Nickelback regularly.
Bob and Tom in the morning and highlights all day long.
The Bob and Tom Show, weekday mornings at 6 a.m. Eastern on Bob and Tom 24/7.
Hi, man, this is Donnie Baker. You're listening to Bob and Tom 24/7.
Mama made us listen to Pink Floyd and Floyd Kramer. We had 3 square meals of mushrooms and cornbread. Mama's kitchen smelled a lot like incense and cathead biscuits. We'd watch Porter and Dolly and then throw on the Grateful Dead. Born and raised on acid country, eating turnip greens and a handful of Nebutol. Yeah, Daddy couldn't take it, he had to go. You can't play Hendrix on a banjo. Mama walked the floor and laid another brick in the wall. Our heroes were Roy Acuff and Abby Hoffman. We grew up outside of Woodstock, Tennessee, listening to Farron Young and a side of Inagata DeVito. Mama made a well-rounded outcast out of me. Born and raised on acid country, eating cold ham hocks and a handful of Placidil. Yeah, Daddy couldn't take it, he had to go playing Alice Cooper on a dobro, wearing leather hip huggers, working in the cotton mill. Everybody, and if you don't eat your meat, you can't have any pudding. And son, you're walking on the fighting.
Well, it's 9 o'clock. I hope everyone's happy.
Huh?
Q95.
What does
It's
that
the
mean?
Bob and Tom Show.
Oh, we told you 9 o'clock was coming, Christy.
Remember
but
9 o'clock?
No.
No,
I'm a girl. I'm
It's your
over
own
here.
fault.
9 o'clock's never going to come. Blah, blah, blah.
Here we are at 9.
Okay.
Yeah, okay.
See, we're redirecting our anger, Christy.
Okay, because you don't want to be angry at Corona anymore.
Right. Oh, I'm angry at Corona. I'm over it.
But people in glass houses shouldn't throw windows.
Speaking of glass houses, our friends at Window Nation just installed their 1 millionth window. And to answer your question, Josh, no, it wasn't just one house. You idiot.
Of course not.
But
He didn't say a word.
You're smart enough to know that Window Nation has the best offer ever because this is the perfect time to get this done. What is the offer, Josh? Go.
Well, they want us to celebrate their 1 million windows installed with great deals like deferred payments for 2 years, 50% off all style windows, including their clear glass, 0 down and pay 0 interest for 2 years. All at windownation.com.
That's right, windownation.com. In fact, very important to know that windows, you need a different type of window in central Indiana than you might need, say, in Palm Springs. That's why they've got the best kind for right here in town. Deferred payments for 2 years at windownation.com. 50% off all styles of windows at windownation.com and 0 down and pay 0 interest for 2 years. Where? I just said windownation.com. Thanks, Josh. You were a lot of help. Welcome back to the Bob and Tom Show.
There's no winning.
Ready for a little shuffle here?
How about you?
Here we go. Duke Tomato and the Power Trio, ladies and gentlemen. In the big room, the man in black. Black hat, black shirt. It's Ace Cosby. The man in black, Josh Arnold.
That's right.
At the IHateStevenSinger.com sidekick chair. The man in... Hang on a second.
It's kind of a gray.
Thank you very much. I can't see.
Charcoal, maybe?
The man in charcoal.
Heather? Heather's a green.
The man in charcoal is Chick McGee.
Heather.
Yeah.
Speaking of charcoal, Willie and I are grilling out tonight.
Oh, what are you grilling?
Some Omaha steaks, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes.
This is Tom speaking from the big room. Then we go through the glass. Willie is, in fact, over there through the glass. He's in the hot box. Christy Lee's right next door, also glassed in.
Yeah.
In the Navy Federal Credit Union newsroom. And Pat Godwin, I just walked by in the other building. Pat's working on a song, which actually reminds me. He had an interesting story earlier today about this 4-year-old kid.
Who wrote poetry?
He's got his own book of poetry being published.
You know, that is exciting. Good for this kid.
Who's going to tell him it's not any good?
Yeah, no joke.
I didn't necessarily care for the poem, but I definitely appreciate the fact that he's going to get better. And
I think kids can write great poetry because they're so free. There's a wonderful book out there by Kenneth Koch on this topic. I highly recommend it if you have little kids.
I prefer Kenneth Pepsi.
It's K-A-C-H. Excuse me, it's K-O-C-H. Kenneth Koch. Great book.
I went to the library. I said, "Do you have that Kenneth Koch book?" And they said, "Nah, we've got Kenneth Pepsi. Is that okay?" Yeah, that's fine.
Actually, I love Kenneth Koch. I'm kind of a Kenneth Koch cat.
I read that book really fast. Really fast.
Oh, by the way, before we get to this poetry thing, I was talking to Mr. Potasnik.
Yeah?
A good friend of mine, and he is an expert in the world of shoes and collectible, they call them sneakerheads.
Yeah.
This is something I don't know much about. Christy had the story about the Grateful Dead shoes,
right?
Mm-hmm.
And I forget who. Someone looked it up, and they were already selling for what?
$1,500.
Yeah.
Apparently, some of these expect to go for a lot more than that in the next couple of weeks.
Well, the idea is to collect all three. I think there are 3 official Grateful Dead colors. I guess.
So did Scott buy all 3?
I talked to him yesterday. He was literally saying, he goes, "I'll spend the next 2 hours trying to get them."
Oh, wow.
Because there are various ways to get them. I guess you have to enter certain pools.
Right.
And,
Wow.
And he said there are people who make a living doing nothing but buying
and
sneakers and then reselling them.
Are you serious?
I had no idea.
Like a sneaker broker?
Yep.
Yeah.
Sneaker futures. Yep.
Yeah.
What a weird thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
And I imagine now there are a lot of people just sitting around. So, but if you haven't seen these Grateful Dead sneakers, they're licensed by the Grateful Dead.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
They're very odd looking, extremely colorful. And we were disappointed that
Have
they
some
didn't.
fake fur on them.
Yeah. And now when I read that they had to skin actual live Muppets to get the fur, I was
that's tough.
disappointed. But
They'll make more.
They have a stash pocket in the tongue, though.
and they call it a stash pocket.
Yeah.
I think wink, wink.
Well, you can stash anything in a stash.
Put your
It
key
doesn't
in
have
there.
to be a stash.
You can put your stash in the stash.
So is that what it's for? So if you're running, you put your key in there? That's the idea of this?
That's for
so you
your
can get back in your house?
It's for your pot. Let's face it.
I honestly, though, I really don't think it is for your pot because no self-respecting pothead would go so corporate as to buy a shoe with a stash pocket.
Or have such a little
Spoken
amount.
like I was never convinced you'd smoked a lot of pot till right now.
Oh, my chick, you have no idea, buddy. No, it just seems No, I think it's very cool, but I think $2,000, it's ridiculous. And especially like everyone's saying it's hard times for everybody right now, and then people are buying $3,000 shoes.
Yeah, that's.
I got my stimulus check. I'm going to go buy Grateful Dead sneakers with it.
Oh, didn't the guy pay $3.8 million for a car last weekend?
Yeah, and then somebody bought that card, that baseball card.
Was it LeBron?
It was.
Oh, it was a basketball
rare
card.
rookie
even.
card, yeah.
$1.8 million for that.
There are people out there that have that kind of money.
Yep.
So,
Oh, yeah, good for them. Do what you want to do with your money, yeah.
Yeah, I guess, but
walking
I
around.
don't know, might be a good time to throw it toward, I don't know, a hospital maybe.
They probably did. I tend to give people like that the benefit of the doubt.
Think how many times we made you smile. Maybe a thank you could come in the form of dollars for this show. Maybe send us.
Could we have a pledge drive where it just goes to us?
No.
No.
Can you imagine?
Although,
Okay, all right.
let me ask you, now, Chick,
Go fund us.
what if someone...
At the Bob and Tom Show, we know times are hard for everybody.
I think technically we could do it for Pat Godwin.
Oh, boy, couldn't we?
Is there a website called Go Fund Yourself where you...
You get the money, but you get cussed out.
Right, yeah.
I don't want to say I don't want to
that.
say who, but you guys will know this is kind of inside radio. But there was a certain comedian who had established a fund for himself.
Oh, sure, yeah.
It was, I think, semi-legit, and one of those words is not really shouldn't be there.
And didn't he at some point become cured and didn't tell anybody and went right ahead with raising money?
Yeah. So, in any event, would you wear those Grateful Dead sneakers?
No.
I wouldn't.
No. If the people that collect them, did they ever actually wear the shoes?
They are kind of the style I like. They're like
they're Nike, right?
It's a
Air
John
Force
Glow.
One. They're like a skateboard shoe. It's real nice and plain.
I think some will wear them. I think
They're furry, though.
But that furry thing.
I think festival goers with their parents' credit cards.
I think they're young girls.
Right, exactly. I really think that's going to be that's the market there. Yeah. These are Coachella shoes.
Now, what other bands have done this? Do you know?
Have their own shoe. I know John Mayer has several shoes.
Kiss has their own shoe.
John
tennis
Mayer's
shoes.
a sneakerhead. Yeah, he takes each shoe.
Because I almost bought him for Ace for his birthday.
Oh, okay. Chick's doing his own show over there. I have no idea what's going on in his head.
Killing me.
They come in a lot of sizes, but they mainly come in size number 2.
That's
Okay.
right.
Very inside. Okay. I'm trying to think where we were going with this. Oh, we were talking about the shoes. And we were talking, I know, we were talking about this kid and his poetry.
I have a pair of Air Force Ones that have fur on the inside for winter. And
nice.
The fur kind of hangs out, but it's not covered in fur. Like these look.
Boots with the fur.
Stoop the fur.
Do you wear socks with them?
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. You wear socks.
Okay. All right. Now, so here we go. This is this kid. He's from England.
Wear thinner.
He's got a book coming out on the publisher's Walker Books.
Yes.
I found another one of his poems,
Oh,
Christy.
you did? The one we read was called Baddies. Baddies.
This one's called Coming Home.
Okay.
And this is actually pretty good.
All right.
This kid's 4.
How great would it be if he started crying as he read it?
I'll just read it without any further criticism.
We put Christmas music in the background.
I'll do my best. Rod McEwen.
No.
Take off our jackets. Hang them up. Take our gloves off. Take our shoes off. Put them where they're supposed to go. You take off your brave feeling because there's nothing to be scared of in the house. No dark caves, no monsters, no witches, no bees, no howling sounds. You don't need to be brave anymore. Wash your hands, eat lunch, go get cozy.
He didn't write that.
That's so sweet.
And call child services.
He's 4.
Oh,
he did not write
That's
that.
pretty lovely.
That's got me. That I might cry a little bit. That was beautiful.
That's
that
beautiful.
Was his mother wrote that.
I don't think that. I don't think so.
I think he probably. Don't you think he dictated it?
Yeah, because brave feelings.
He's
A
4, yeah.
4-year-old
But
says that.
I think a 4-year-old would say brave
I think
feelings.
it sounds unevenly intelligent to me. The first part.
There's some editing involved.
I have a little teeny poem that my daughter Finn did when she was 4 that's on my refrigerator. She just blurted out this funny thing about the moon, and I wrote it down. It was beautiful. So I think
it's pretty crazy.
Seriously, if you have little kids, there's a great book, and it's Teaching Poetry to Children by Kenneth Koch. It's really good. And the poems by little kids are fantastic. But, Pat, you got a poem for me? What are you doing over there?
Well, it's not mine. I have that side hustle. Set your poems to music. And I make a little extra money on the side.
Oh, so children send in their poems to you?
Not only children, everybody, Josh.
Oh, okay.
This is interesting. This might be an adult poem?
This is definitely, I think, an adult poem. And this, the only rule is that you can't edit them. And what I do is I get them. I got one this morning, and I just get the guitar. I look at it, and the first thing that comes to my head musically. And I'll do this one. Here,
great. I'll look forward to this. This is some original existential.
Now, here we go. Who has the prettiest legs around? I do. Who has the loveliest pink ball gown? I do. Oh. But life is tough, life is hard, especially here in the prison yard. Who has the tightest little tush in town? I did. So you can get their.
Yeah, so just send your poems to
Pat Godwin.
Set your poems to music, Patty.
No. How nice, yeah.
No. In a rare moment of seriousness, the book by Kenneth Koch is brilliant.
Cool.
And it's KOCH.
Good.
Recommend it.
Anything to get kids reading and writing, I'm all for it.
Anything to, but it's really fun. And same thing with drawing too for little kids. There's a bunch of great stuff to get them to do stuff, especially now when a lot of the kids don't get to go to art class and things that are so good for them.
And of course, coloring's also good. You should color with crayons.
Yeah,
Agreed.
And coloring books.
Oh, yeah, that's what
I
Two of Tom's favorite things.
Love coloring, but I don't like crayons. I prefer the.
Willie, did you have crayons growing up?
Yeah, I think so.
Not very. I tried to get rid of as much as possible.
He's always been pretty crazy, but he only got really crazy, I'd say, last 7 years, maybe.
Okay.
Because when I was a kid, he was nuts, but now he's a total psychopath.
Okay.
Gotcha. I see.
All right. I think it's good that we're talking openly about this. You seem to be
I
dealing
prefer
with
the washable markers. The crayons, it's like there's a defense. The paper's
not
going.
listening
The paper's going. I don't want to be here. It's like using
What?
earwax.
I like the way crayons look, okay.
How
That's
hard are you pressing with your crayon?
Yeah, what are you
Come
doing?
on. What are you...
Who are you mad at? Who are you really mad at?
Chris, you just have an opinion, and as I was explaining to my daughter yesterday,
Yes.
you're wrong.
Oh, you guys, we were talking about the song Gaslighter yesterday.
Yes.
And my little sister...
She's 7.
She goes, well, Daddy, the song Gaslighter, you're saying that you don't like it, but that's just your opinion, and you're saying that my opinion is wrong. So kind of, it sounds like you're missing the point of the song, and you're kind of gaslighting me into thinking what you think.
Yeah.
And I don't think that's fair.
Yeah.
It was the greatest thing I've seen in oh my gosh, 27 years of being alive. Boy, oh boy, did that make me happy. She stuck it to him.
All right.
Still a terrible song. Okay.
You learn nothing from it.
Yes. Give me the teaser, Christy.
Well, coming up, we have a floating cinema. We have a bear in the news. We have turtles in the news. We have Frank Lloyd Wright actually in the news today.
That's a pretty cool story.
Yeah, it is. I looked that up. What would you pay for a Frank Lloyd Wright cottage that you had to move?
Well, it depends on where it is, square footage.
They had to move because people were coming to check it out?
No,
they had to move it because people wanted the land. They were going to destroy it and build a house there.
Someone bought the property and
yeah.
they take the Frank. Those people must have
buku money.
Yeah. If it's a teardown by Frank Lloyd Wright, I'm guessing that's millions of dollars.
Yeah.
I would think.
Yeah.
Well, now let's talk about what we've got coming up. As you mentioned, bears and turtles, and TikTok for Chick. We got to try to get that TikTok story in today
Absolutely.
for Chick. While TikTok's still legal. Right now, I want to talk about. Listen carefully, fellas. Maybe. You're a little stressed. I know that everybody, I think, is just completely stressed out right now. It's the old when does this end thing in your head, but maybe it's getting to you in lots of other places. You lost your mojo, whatever. Here's something you can do if you've been thinking about maybe trying to get a little help in the ED department. There's an outfit called Roman. They are a pharmaceutical distributor. These guys distribute the real stuff. This isn't some crazy route they found along the Amazon. This is things like Viagra, that sort of thing. Roman can get it to you, and let me tell you how. You log on to getroman.com/wood. You complete a free online visit with an actual USA licensed physician. In fact, they'll get back to you within 24 hours, and if you are, in fact, a candidate for one of these pharmaceutical treatments, well, then they'll get it to you. In fact, they have free 2-day shipping. So just take your phone, take your computer, log on to getroman.com/wood. If approved, also something brand new, you'll get $15 off your first order for ED treatment. Once again, it's getroman.com/wood, $15 off. You're dealing with a real physician, you're getting the real stuff, and you don't get embarrassed by going to the family doctor or whatever. Getroman.com/wood, and tell them the Bob and Tom Show sent you. And we're coming back with a little bit of TikTok, a little bit of interesting news about bears and turtles. This is the Bob and Tom Show.
essential morning radio. All day and all night.
Really? No, seriously. Really?
Bob and Tom 24/7. 24/7.
Again, special thanks to our engineering crew here at the Frigamall building for taking care of us. We had a car hit a power pole out front of Frigamall the other night, and it pretty much knocked out all of our utilities and computers, and the station was kind of dark. However, you never would have noticed because by the time we went on the air, after working through the night, we were back up and running. So special thanks to our engineers and our computer guys for getting it done and keeping us on the air. You were listening to Bob and Tom 24/7.
Hi, everybody. Christy Lee from the Navy Federal Credit Union Entertainment News Desk. Clint Eastwood is taking nearly 24 companies to court because he says they're suggesting he's hawking CBD products. The actor-director has filed a pair of lawsuits against the companies who he says have used his name and image to plug their firms. The suit says the companies have spread phony articles reporting that Eastwood had quit Hollywood to focus on businesses that sell products that include the active ingredient in pot. The lawsuit says not only is Eastwood not involved in the CBD industry, he has never even endorsed it. And those of you following the Johnny Depp libel trial may have thought you'd heard everything about that brawl-filled incident in March 2015 involving the couple in Australia, where his ex-wife Amber Heard accused Depp of domestic abuse, and Depp lost part of his finger in that incident, if you'll recall. Well, there are more details coming out yesterday in testimony. Heard said during the 3-day stay at a rented property, Johnny Depp was completely out of his mind and out of control after abusing drugs and alcohol. She said he threw 30 or so bottles at her as if they were grenades or bombs. If you would like to hear more, the 4th day and expected final day of her testimony is today. And Kim Kardashian West is defending her husband Kanye after he sent out a series of tweets saying he was divorcing her and she was trying to lock him up. Kardashian West writes on Instagram that her husband is bipolar, which makes life incredibly complicated and painful. She understands those who want to comment about him because he's a public figure, but is asking for compassion and empathy as the family works through it. Kanye West has deleted those tweets, by the way. And that's your entertainment news. I'm Christy Lee. More of the Bob and Tom Show coming up.
Ladies and gentlemen, Bob and Tom.
Disney World visitors no longer will be able to eat or drink while walking, according to the theme park's updated face mask policy. Since the park reopened July 11th, visitors have been required to wear a face mask at all times, except while eating or swimming.
You don't want to get the virus.
Visitors now must be stationary while eating or drinking and must maintain appropriate social distancing.
Pluto's on a ventilator.
Bob and Tom in the morning and highlights all day long.
The Bob and Tom Show, weekday mornings at 6 a.m. Eastern on Bob and Tom 24/7.
Bob and Tom 24/7. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
You just ruined it. You should have seen me last night when I fell down laughing and I stumbled down a flight of metal stairs. I went crashing through the window at the VFW hall, tumbled over a pile of metal chairs. Then I cussed out my girlfriend, tried to feel up her mom. I wrecked my car, I think I bruised my spine. Oh, you ought to go with me when I go out drinking. Always have myself a real good time. I got drunk and stole this boat out of the Edgewater Yacht Club, doing 90 miles an hour up to the bay. I sank her out by Buckeye Point and walked on into town. Tore up someone's flowers on my way. Then I barged into the crow's nest and I threw up on the rug. I slapped that hostess on her big behind. Oh, you ought to go with me when I go out drinking. Always have myself a real good time. I talk dirty to the waitress and I never ever leave her no tip. I leave her all my roaches in the guacamole dip. Oh, you ought to go with me when I go out drinking. Always have myself a real good time. So I'm going out tonight and I'm gonna tie on a good one. Does anybody here want to go out drinking with me?
Yeah!
Well, I'll take you to this biker bar where we can kick some ass. And a gay bar. We'll get our drinks for free. We'll do shooters of tequila and a case of beer apiece. We'll wash it down with a gallon of cheap island wine.
9:21 on the nose at Q95. It's the Bob and Tom Show.
Christy has an update in the forecast.
Q95 Fox 59 weather brought to you by CarX. We will see some sunshine pretty soon. Look for a high of 87. Clear skies tonight, 71. Partly cloudy, 85 Friday. Cloudy, 75 right now.
Thank you very much, Christy Lee. And I keep telling you the same thing, which is listen carefully because you could be a winner. $1,000 at stake many, many times. So pay close attention, be listening, and maybe you'll get very, very lucky. This is the Bob and Tom Show. We're now calling it the Big Room with Chick, Ace. I'm Tom. That's Josh. Josh, of course, has a special seat.
Indeed.
Yes.
It's the IHateStevensinger.com sidekick chair.
Yes.
I didn't mean your seat.
Right.
Because you have said before that you have been told you do not have a derriere.
No, I don't. I have a frog's ass.
Yes, you
There's nothing wrong with your butt.
I just I need to do some kind of workout that gives me a butt.
Squats.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Lunges.
Excuse me. Weighing in on the
my butt,
ass or not?
Yeah. It's an astronaut.
Ass or not?
Astronaut.
Yeah. Okay. Astronaut. He's part of the. He's one of the original
In
Wee
the space
Seven.
program.
Yes. Gus Grissom, Deke Slayton, Josh is Willie G's behind the glass over there. Pat Godwin's in the next building. Pat, great to see you.
Great to see you.
Knocking it out of the park, sir.
Having a good day.
And let's see where else we have to get to. Oh, we promised we'd get to a couple of these interesting stories.
And Christy Lee at the Navy Federal Credit
Didn't I
Union
mention that?
stuff.
I thought I did.
No, you didn't.
I thought I said you were admiring Josh's.
You did, but you didn't say
rear
You
end.
didn't say who.
Okay,
you just,
sorry.
Whom.
You look very, very nice today, Christy.
Why, thank you very much.
That's a great color on you.
Red?
Yeah.
Red, yes.
Yeah. Men like women in red, don't they? Oh,
Usually
yeah.
says,
Lady in red.
Scarlet letter.
Oh, is that it?
The A stands for always ready.
Red on Thursday means harney.
I had no idea.
What was that old thing? Was it if you wore green on Thursday or something?
What?
Maybe this was a regional thing for me in my school where it was, oh, he's wearing green on Thursday. That means he wants a girl.
I bet one of your buddies just made that up so you'd make a fool of yourself.
Come on, guys. I didn't.
Hey, if she wears green, it means she wants it.
Wasn't there something about red M&Ms back in the day, too?
Yes.
What was the rumor with those?
Oh, that was, you mean the one with Van Halen?
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah, I think
that.
even prior to
there
that.
was red dye or something. I don't know. There was something bad about the red M&Ms.
Did it make you promiscuous or horny or something?
I don't remember.
Okay.
But
what?
Yeah, I remember. He's right.
Red
there was
M&Ms
something
made you
going on about.
Something.
There was a rumor.
You fell for that?
I didn't. I was. I remember my mom explaining it to me.
That'd be awkward.
What, red M&Ms?
Josh,
make
I'm
you
very
horny?
horny because I've been eating red M&Ms.
No, it's green M&Ms that were made
If you weren't
horny.
my
Is it
son,
green?
yes, that's how the conversation went.
It was green that made you horny?
Now, was this around Thanksgiving, right before she started doing her strip tease?
That's right. Yep. Old mother. Yep. She'd kick the cornucopia off the table.
Oh, yeah.
I'm sorry, but back to you, Christy.
Hang on, we got a letter.
What?
Dear Bob and Tom, I was 7 or 8 when I met a celebrity for the first time. Actually, it was 2 of them. It was Christy Lee and Chick McGee.
Oh,
Hey, yes.
We were at the mall to see NBA game, and Christy and Chick had a wheel of prizes. We ended up winning tickets to the Globetrotters.
Oh, nice.
Awesome weekend. I wasn't sure who they were yet.
Right.
But I could tell from my dad's excitement that they were a big deal. Soon after, my dad made me a mixtape featuring Toast, one of Godwin's songs, and the Man song, also Pat Godwin's. And I've been a loyal listener ever since.
Aww.
By the way, I checked with my dad to make sure that the nice man really was Chick. He said, yes, that was him.
Oh, cool.
There you go.
Very good. Very good. Now, we promised a couple stories. I want to get to them before we run out of time. Christy, what have you got?
Well, we have a lot of rescues in the news. Firefighters in the UK rescued a teen who became stuck in a baby swing while trying to make a TikTok video.
Firefighters of the UK. That's a tough acronym.
It's just not.
Yeah.
Maybe firefighters of Great Britain.
14-year-old.
If only you had a button to press to shut me up every time.
14-year-old Leonie McLean reportedly.
So you're suggesting that it would be are these city-dwelling firefighters, perhaps urban? Never mind. I'm sorry, Christy, back to you.
14-year-old Leonie McLean reportedly climbed into the swing designed for toddlers at a park in Farringdon and became trapped. Her mother, Charlie McLean, arrived to try and free the teen with dish soap, but called authorities after an hour. Firefighters unhinged the swing and used the dish soap to wiggle the girl free. Fire crews were reportedly laughing too hard to chastise the teen. McLean said firefighters, quote, did a great job whilst crackling all the jokes they could think of. Yeah, I bet.
And that's the TikTok thing.
Yes.
One of my daughters broke her toe making a TikTok video.
Oh, no.
Oh, yes.
Oh, yes.
Oh.
You can't do anything for a broken toe.
You really can't.
Yeah, but that's what they're doing all the time now.
TikTok videos?
Yeah, it's pretty much.
I am not participating. Chick, have you done any?
I just watched. No, I
you haven't done
I
any
did
videos?
one, I think. Me and the dogs. That was it.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, what'd you do?
They were just laying there.
Oh, you didn't dance with them?
Mm-mm.
I thought you had to dance to be on TikTok.
No, you don't have to. You don't have to do anything with TikTok.
Oh.
It's a form of expression.
So this poor girl gets herself trapped in a little baby swing.
Yes.
Okay. What was the punishment?
There was
Punishment?
none. Why would she be punished?
Why do you feel like you have to punish her?
Yeah.
Make her wear it. Make her wear it.
Since when do you punish any of your kids?
Make her wear it for a week. You know, like put some straps on it, and
How would she go to the bathroom? She couldn't get in and out of it.
kind of like a chastity belt. I don't know how they did that. You got to figure it out. Drill a couple holes, call it a day.
Boy, you
can't drill a hole in the chastity belt.
That was a blessing and a curse, wasn't it? Being the first guy to take off that chastity belt. Finally, I can. Oh my God!
How did women pee with those on?
I assume that there were a couple of strategically.
There was a smaller.
Had to be a hole, right?
Urethra.
The New York City fire.
What?
The New York City Fire Department rescued 2 people after they became stranded not in a toddler swing, but on an inflatable swan in the East River.
This is the new thing.
The pool floaty had been overcome by the river's fast-moving current Sunday and encountered heavy marine traffic. No one was seriously injured. The 2 people on the float were taken safely back to shore.
We had the same thing in Lake Ontario earlier this year.
that would be so scary just to get blown out into water.
Well, and some of those are really those. My friend has a flamingo that's real big, and it's like
the one I believe there were 4 or 5 people on the one in Lake Ontario. It was 2.5 miles out when the Coast Guard had to go get them.
Scary.
Those are like the mopeds of the water.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
They are.
It's like, oh, you couldn't get a boat. Or did you have a DUI?
I would enjoy a lazy river situation.
I love them.
It's real fun.
I'm with you, Willie.
I'm sure it's fun. Yeah, it's fun. And believe me, I've got a bunch of those things. We go to the neighborhood pool. We take a gigantic swan, but
I bet they enjoy you.
Are
guys
you allowed to do that in a community
Scourge
pool?
of the neighborhood.
Here they come.
Yeah, well, if the
20 kids and
the
grizzly.
UV from the sunlight kills the COVID. Yeah, you're okay.
No, I didn't mean that.
That
I
and
meant
the chlorine. Yeah,
I meant the fact that you're taking up all the space in the pool with your damn
Wait a minute.
swan.
Josh was anti-lazy river, weren't you?
Yeah, but I'm not anti-floating on in a lake or whatever, or in an
I
actual
think
river.
Josh knows that when he is in the lazy river, there's a lot of peeing going on.
Why is he the one?
He is right. I am peeing a lot, which and therefore I have to assume
Everyone else
is.
What I do is I leave. I pee. How can I put this? Just under the surface of the water, so it sort of Bellagio's up and out of the water.
Oh, that's cool.
And you didn't want to do the story.
Bellagio.
Oh my God!
A cottage.
By the way, did you see the thing? This reminds me of that cow story from earlier. When they got those people in that were on that giant swan float,
Yeah.
they had to put the swan float down.
Oh, that's a shame. Yeah,
no.
yeah. They had a little sewing needle to the neck.
Took it out. Yeah. Sorry.
And a cottage designed by Frank Lloyd Wright was rescued. It has been moved 4 blocks from its original location in Glencoe, Illinois. The 1-story frame house known as the Booth Cottage was facing demolition last year after it was purchased by a couple who wanted to build a new home on the property. The Frank Lloyd Wright structure, draped with a banner that read "Saving Booth Cottage," was placed onto dollies and slowly rolled about 800 feet on Tuesday.
Really?
Yeah, there are pictures of it on the wheels.
Yeah, it's really cool.
So it's technically Frank Lloyd Wright's first mobile home.
Yeah. Yeah, technically. They're going to eventually make it into a museum, I think.
Great.
They're raising money now to do some renovations.
Did this one? So this one didn't incorporate any of the surrounding land per se.
It was a home that he had built for the couple, his lawyer and his wife, to live in while he built their other home. If you know what I mean.
Okay, so
it was kind of.
But they
like
were able to move it without having to remove a tree from the living room.
No, they didn't have to move a tree. They did take away the garage, and they had added 2 bedrooms in the years since. But
wow,
Glencoe is a very wealthy suburb. It's where the movie Risky Business takes place.
Yeah.
It was $1,100 square foot cottage, and I think that property was on the market for over $1 million.
I bet
It's not a real fancy looking house.
No.
No, I would imagine not. Yeah.
And the couple who bought it, they immediately filed for a demolition permit. They were going to demolish it.
Yeah. Okay. Good. They were able to preserve it.
Yep.
Yeah, well, very good, very good. It's tiny.
It is tiny.
Okay. Now
1,100 square feet.
Now this next story, I'm pretty excited about it. It involves a bear.
Yeah, and he entered the front door of a home in Ontario, Canada.
Right through the front door.
Right through the front door. Guess what he was looking for, Chick?
Food.
Honey.
Pizza. Oh. Security footage taken at the home in Oro Medonte. Saturday. That's how.
There's a bear and he's eating pizza.
Although it's French, so it's probably Oro Medonte. It shows the black bear pulling open the front door, walking in, sniffs at, and nibbles on 3 pizza boxes lying on the floor.
All right.
Yeah.
Before leaving the way he came in.
They must have had a party. 3 pizza boxes.
Homeowner 3, yeah.
Yeah.
Homeowner Sean Atkinson said, "This is entirely my fault. You don't leave garbage out in Canada."
All right.
Inside your house, you can.
They know, though.
They've got video of the thing walking in the front door.
That's an assumption that you can easily make.
Does it say what kind of pizza it was?
It does not say what kind of pizza it was.
Probably
Bears prefer half pepperoni, half park ranger.
I think so, yeah.
That's their go-to.
Ranger Smith.
Okay.
And 2 men in Florida have been charged with poaching 93 protected sea turtle eggs. Federal prosecutors in
I always scramble mine.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
You don't poach a turtle.
More sea turtle omelet?
Federal prosecutors in West Palm Beach announced the charges Monday against Carl Lawrence Cobb, 63, and Bruce Wayne Bivens, 63.
What? Bruce Wayne?
Somebody was a Batman fan. They each faced 3 felony counts, including violating the Endangered Species Act, and could get as much as 15 years in prison.
Whoa, yikes.
For turtle eggs?
Yes.
You don't
They're
mess with
endangered.
Whatever.
Are there a few things? I mean, there are a few things cuter than a baby sea turtle.
You're right.
Oh, I mean, they are unbelievably
And
cute.
they're so tender.
Oh,
yeah.
So liver and onions.
You eat them whole like ortolan.
Yeah,
that's
absolutely.
Well,
you got to boil the shell.
Soft shell crab.
When we talk turtles in this show, I think it just takes us to one particular place, one of Floyd's greatest hits.
They both make a living in their bare feet. Catching one is like a treat, and they both hang out right there by the shell. They both walk slow at a simple pace, both afraid to show their face, but only one has a built-in place to hide. Turtles and whores, turtles and whores. I love them turtles and whores. They both advertise a little tale, move so much and never get mail. They both go by the same nickname, Snapper. Daddy never told about the birds and bees, but always talked about both these and made it clear only one was fit to eat. Turtles and whores.
Yeah.
Turtles and whores. I love them turtles and whores.
Turtles and whores.
Now, if you catch one, here's some advice. One is dirty and the other ain't nice. So be polite and always walk up from behind. Make small talk, never let them see fear. Don't work alone, just bait or beer. And when you're done, just drop them by the river. Turtles and whores.
Everybody.
Turtles and whores. I've caught both while fishing. I'm always on a mission. And they both hate the kitchen. Turtles and whores.
Turtles and whores.
The classics. Thank you so much, Floyd.
That is inspired.
Yeah. Speaking of, we were talking about great things to eat.
Yeah.
And, things like pizza. How about this? Our friends at HelloFresh realized that these days maybe you're getting a little tired of your own cooking. Well, this is the perfect time to try it because HelloFresh has, this could be the best offer ever. What is HelloFresh? Well, it's America's #1 meal kit.
HelloFresh.
Hello.
The box arrives and guess what's in it? Oh, they've done all the shopping. They've done all the portioning. You get to cook it and you become a great chef. I'm telling you, they've got cards with pictures. Christy and I are both big
very
fans.
important.
Yeah, and they walk you through it, and it is delicious. And you have lots of choices. In fact, in any given week, 22 chef-curated recipes, and it could be whatever you're into. It could be vegetarian, it could be family-friendly, it could be low-cal. They've got everything available, and you become a great chef. So say goodbye to spending lots of time at the store, going, oh, wait a minute, do I buy an onion? What's that thing? Is that a rutabaga?
Today?
HelloFresh. Okay, and here's why you should try it right now. You get started with America's #1 meal kit with this special offer. You go to HelloFresh.com, use the promo code BTShow. You get $80 off. Oh, then, and by the way, on this one,
yeah,
we'll throw in free shipping for your first box. Once again, it's HelloFresh.com. The code is BTShow. $80 off and free shipping on your first box. So you'll become a better chef, I'm telling you. And the food's delicious. Everyone will clean their plates because the food is so good. You won't believe that you made it. It's once again, HelloFresh.com. The promo code is BTShow. $80 off and free shipping. So you got nothing to lose on this one. HelloFresh.com. Once again, the promo code BTShow, like Bob and Tom Show. Easy to remember. And when we come back, Christy Lee,
yes,
I'm very excited because we have a little bit of crime news.
Yeah, we could get some entertainment news or history news.
Of course, we do have some history news. Coming up tomorrow, by the way, a fascinating story about a psychiatrist who's being reprimanded for falling asleep in front of all of his patients.
Oh, yeah.
And by definition, history cannot be news. Continue.
Okay, thank you very much. There could be a new development. It seems
Never mind.
A little bit hard-headed, but of course, why wouldn't it? When we come back, this is the Bob and Tom Show.
Got something to say? Send us an email, bobandtom@bobandtom.com. This is the Bob and Tom Show.
Hi, everybody. This is Mark Sweeney, and you're listening to Bob and Tom 24/7.
Hope you're having a great morning. Thanks so much for spending it with us here on Bob and Tom 24/7. You probably already have the Bob and Tom app. It's available in your iTunes or Google Play Store for free. But if not, let your friends, your relatives, your neighbors, your barber, anyone, let them know they can get it for free and listen to their local radio station. Tune in to Bob and Tom 24/7. You can even contact us directly via text or email with just one click. Set an alarm that'll wake you up with the show. Imagine that. Christy Lee, the first voice you hear in the morning. Oh, yeah. You're listening to Bob and Tom 24/7. Did I tell you the app is free? It's free.
I'm Chick McGee with your Bob and Tom Sports Update. The NFL Players Association says 95 players are now known to have tested positive for the virus. That number up from 72 in the union's last report on July 10th. The NFLPA and the NFL reached agreement Monday on COVID-19 testing as rookies begin reporting to training camps. Most veterans come in next week, though some players rehabbing injuries could report this week. Houston Rockets star Russell Westbrook is set to practice with the team for the first time since revealing he tested positive for the virus. Westbrook did not travel with the Rockets on July 9th when they flew to Florida for the NBA's restart. He's a 9-time All-Star. He revealed on social media he had tested positive for the virus on July 14th. He didn't arrive in Florida until Monday. And Mookie Betts and the Los Angeles Dodgers have struck baseball's first big money deal since the pandemic. The 12-year, $365 million contract runs through 2032 and removes the top offensive player from next offseason's free agent class. The deal is baseball's second largest in total dollars, behind the $426.5 million 12-year contract for the Angels outfielder Mike Trout. I'm Chick McGee, and that's your Bob and Tom Sports Update.
Ladies and gentlemen, Bob and Tom.
You realize when Josh is on the road, people are going to ask him to play this song during his shows.
Willie, I've quit the road.
There's no road. Give it up for Josh Arnold.
I'm so bad.
You can start waving
keep that
as you
applause
take the
going as he
stage.
slowly makes his way to the stage. Whoops, there are stairs. Just keep clapping, please. We had to tell him this was Golden Corral to get him here.
Bob and Tom in the morning and highlights all day long.
The Bob and Tom Show, weekday mornings at 6 a.m. Eastern on Bob and Tom 24/7.
Hi, this is Dr. Will Miller, and you're listening to Bob and Tom 24/7, which begs the question, why do you need Bob and Tom 24/7?
Sex is so prevalent in our society that nobody mentions what happens if you keep having it. You know, that I think every porno movie should end with Hayat Lee giving birth to triplets. You know, just as a disclaimer, you know. So everybody knows, you know, what you get, you know. But I'm a stepfather, too. Which I've been for a few years now. And if you're not a step-parent, you know, you don't realize the warmth and rewards that you get for the warm, loving feeling. And it's, I hate you. Okay, here's some more money. You know, you're not like my real dad. You know, that's right. You can find me. You know, track down your real deadbeat dad and have him pay for these Barbie accessories, you know.
Hey, this is Frank Caliendo, and you're listening to Bob and Tom 24/7.
747 flying was at New York to Seattle, and all of the toilets on the plane stopped working. I think the funniest part is...
first of all, they've only gone 3 hours. I'm sure you can hold it for 3 hours, can't you?
You have children, don't you?
Christy, we're all full-grown adults.
Yeah?
You're Barbie size. We're going to the bathroom every hour, every half hour, a lot.
Little Josh has had a double dose of that in-flight chili meal.
Of course.
All right, did you hear this? First off, you can see when I take a flight,
one of the fattest things I've ever
Tom
done.
assumes I would order the chili as if that were ever an option.
However,
and he said a double dose, meaning I requested seconds.
Sid Gurney. Sid is at the microphone. Sid, how are you?
Good morning, guys. How you doing?
Great. How are you?
I think things are going pretty good so far, don't you, Sid?
No. Last night at the bar, Bob Donnie put on these dark glasses and made me tell this lady he was blind since he was a baby.
Really?
He said my job was to help line up something for him he calls a sympathy doink. So I go up to her, but before I...
944 at Q95. It's the Bob and Tom Show.
Update that forecast, please, Miss Christy
We'll
Lee.
see a mix of sun and clouds today with a high of 87. Clear skies tonight, down to 71, and then partly cloudy and 85 tomorrow. 75 currently with some sun peeking out now.
Thank you very much. Oh, I know, cash, money. Be thinking about it and be wondering if you could win it. Well, you could. It's
I wonder
possible.
if I can win it.
You can't.
You can't.
The listeners can, though. So be paying attention. Listen for a certain voice, tell you a certain thing to do, and when you hear it, you could get lucky. That's all I'm saying.
What if I quit my job to try to win this money?
Go, baby, go.
I'm not sure. We'd have to get the lawyers in on this. I'm not sure what the time. Listen to win. How about that? It's got some great classic rock coming up on Q95, and of course, a shot at some serious cash. Welcome back to the Bob and Tom Show. I'll make it quick. There's Ace, there's Chick. I'm Tom, that's Josh.
Hi.
Christy Lee's over there, and Navy Federal Credit Union News Desk. There's Willie. There's Pat Godwin. That pretty much covers it. And we're back. Christy, he mentioned there was something about a crime problem. What do you got over there?
The U.S. Marshals?
Yeah, what's that?
They captured a so-called fugitive of the week. Oh. Yeah, I don't know if you saw this. The guy was found.
Fugitive of the week?
Yes.
Fugitive
of the week.
a QM production.
That's right.
Starring David Jansen as
the fugitive of the week.
Yeah, David Jansen was not the fugitive. This
Harrison
person, no, I guess his name was John Cathcart, if you want to know.
Bit 60 years ago.
John Cathcart was found sleeping on a porch in New Hampshire.
Well, that would have made the end of the movie The Fugitive a lot less interesting.
No joke. Deputy U.S. Marshal Jeffrey White said Mr. Cathcart was sought on multiple arrest warrants issued from Belknap County. On Wednesday, the 55-year-old was the fugitive of the week, and it was a segment that was featured in media statewide. Interviews led them to a porch in Laconia where they found Cathcart asleep on the porch. He was arrested without incident.
And in the role of, because the movie The Fugitive with Harrison Ford and Tommy Lee Jones. Perfect casting.
Yeah.
Just perfect casting.
Yep.
This one where they catch the guy on the porch, I'm thinking maybe Elmer Fudd as Detective Gerard. Be very, very quiet.
I'm hunting the fugitive of the week.
Coming up tomorrow, is your psychiatrist falling asleep on you? Do you have a psychiatrist? Well, that's actually.
I always wonder how they stay awake.
That's actually.
Are they making little circle motions outside their ear with their finger?
Now, does your therapist look at you straight on, or do they make you lay on the couch so you don't see them? Or do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, we face to face.
Yeah, we do face to face too. I didn't know.
Yeah, I do face to face.
Yeah.
I want to like the movies. I'm on the couch.
Oh, really?
Do you? Are you really?
No.
Well, it's time now to talk about a little bit of history.
Oh, okay. I have a couple birthdays.
Time now for Today in History. Here's Tom.
Well, first off, 1925, this guy hit his first Grand Slam. Who is it, Josh?
Babe Ruth.
No, it was Lou Gehrig.
Oh.
I'm pretty sure it was Babe Ruth.
I'd like you to fact check that, please.
Okay.
Get back to me on that. Thanks, buddy.
Driving in 4 runs in 1925.
Oh, that was Babe Ruth.
No,
well, but a run.
Oh, this is still the same story?
A run then was far less than a run is now. Okay.
1967. This is an interesting story.
What?
Dr. Thomas Starzee performs the first successful liver transplant.
Oh, wow.
No word on the
donor died during their surgery.
Many botched.
David Crosby. Wait a minute. He started that way. Okay. You got some birthdays, Christy?
Yeah, I do. Our friend Slash, Guns N' Roses guitarist, he's 55 today.
What's his real name?
Saul Hudson.
Saul Hudson, yes. Woody Harrelson.
Couldn't have been nicer. He's been here a couple times.
Right on.
Woody Harrelson, 59 today. Ronnie Cox, do you remember what movie he was in?
Yes, Deliverance.
That's right, 82 today.
And RoboCop, let's not forget that.
Yeah, that's correct. Alison Krauss, beautiful, sings like an angel, 49.
Look at the Krauss. Look at the Krauss.
Harry Potter turns 31. Daniel Radcliffe.
Ooh, wow.
Yeah.
31.
He can't keep his clothes on now, right?
No, he
Yeah,
can't.
he likes to get naked in Broadway plays.
Likes to get naked.
Hey, here's one you missed.
What?
Monica Lewinsky, born in the state in 1973.
Oh, how could you blow past that? Yeah.
Oh, wow.
She wasn't on my list, sorry.
That's terrible.
She does
such
great,
good work now.
She has a great Twitter and an anti-bullying.
Yeah, I'm genuinely a fan.
Very sweet from
Does
all
a TED
accounts. I know a
Talk.
guy that actually dated her.
I met her. She was very nice.
Did you call her Monica, or because her nickname is Harmonica? Because her work with the
All right.
with the mouth organ is absolutely astonishing.
Just a despicable.
Here's one you missed, Tom. On this date in 2010. See, mine is entertainment history. Mine's not just history. Kings of Leon cut short a performance outside St. Louis, Josh.
Fighting at each other?
No, pigeons were defecating on the stage.
Yeah, man, oh man.
Well, they need to play better. Am I right?
Yeah.
I saw the Kings of Leon in a place that held about 300 people.
So did I.
It's just Kings of Leon.
Great debut album.
Amazing.
Or
Really
Kings. The Kings.
And you know what else happened on this date in 1984? Vanessa Williams became the first Miss America to resign her title
Why did
after
she
the
do that?
nude photos were in Penthouse.
The new.
the famous duck call photos.
Yeah.
They called them.
Yeah. They
See,
did.
that was
They called them. He called them.
No,
the
that
call
was
photo.
that was all over the street. Anyone? I'm sure it's probably in Wikipedia
He's
somewhere.
street savvy.
Did she go on to marry Rick Fox?
I don't know.
Red Fox, I believe.
No, not.
You big dummy.
She's married to.
I think they were married at one point.
Oh, jeez.
Now, time now to explore what we learned on
What
today's
did we
show.
learn today?
Oh man,
Very little.
We learned that
not at all.
Willie listens to his father when he yells at home, I think, or something. Time now for Things We Learned, brought to you by Grainger. Products keep your facility running is what Grainger does best. They've been doing it for 90 years. Visit Grainger.com for whatever you need, whenever you need it. Grainger, for the ones who get things done.
I think we're all familiar with the pith helmet, P-I-T-H, usually associated with
explorers.
In movies, you'll see like Abbott and Costello wear them.
Those safari hats.
Yes, they're kind of kooky, but I was not aware of the associated item, the pith knife, Chick McGee.
Well, a pith knife will cut the pith out of you. You know that.
I had no idea.
Isn't Mike Tyson their spokesman?
Oh. Yes. Strangely enough, he calls it the piss knife. It's weird.
The one S he can really hit nail. Let's see. Josh Arnold is in the IHateStevenSinger.com sidekick chair.
I sure am. Proud to be.
We recommend you log on and buy something nice for that sweetie of yours.
It's a perfect time for a just because gift.
Yes. Just a random, here you go. Chick was planning on participating in the Iron Man competition this year. Not so fast. It was canceled.
That's right. Yeah. It's the only thing stopping me.
Yeah, I was recommending the Iron Lung Man competition, but last year a couple of the Iron Lungs sank during the swimming.
Yeah, that was a tough. We should have known.
Yes,
they're still lost.
This one you're going to have to Google to find out if it's true or not, because it is. The Canadian government has actually recommended the use of glory holes in the most intimate of activities. Could we not ever play that again? Let's see. We talked about the first famous people we met. Ace met famous Amos, giving away cookies in L.A. when you were a kid.
In a park.
Christy met Eddie Rabbit when she was just a kid.
Every which way but loose.
Yeah, and I met Horace McMahon when I was like 5. I had no idea who he was. But from the Naked City. Once I found that out when I got a little older, I watched the Naked City hoping that it had naked ladies in it, but
it's a whole city, right? It's got to be some naked people there somewhere.
Yeah. Willie met Gabriel Iglesias, who was super cool. Josh wrote a letter to Benny Hill when he was a very young man, and Benny Hill responded with an autograph.
Yeah, I think I'll post the photo, the signed photo today on my Instagram.
Well, that's very exciting. Thank you very much. Tomorrow we'll learn about if your psychologist or psychiatrist is falling asleep. There's some legislation about that happening right now.
Oh.
It's going to be against the law?
You'll be glad to know.
At least get a refund, I hope.
And we have butter sculpture. Calm down.
I'm not going to be able to sleep.
It's in the news. This is the Bob and Tom Show.
Want to share something? Send us an email. BobandTom@bobandtom.com. This is the Bob and Tom Show.